Dave with LoFiTrader here. Let's start our morning off right. We have a doozy for you today. Of course, we're going to go through the same spiel as we always do. First thing this morning, you are live right now here with me. If you are watching this at some other time, that's okay. We're going to run through the indices, large cap, small cap, you name it. We'll go through the earnings, the news, and then we'll get to my trades and we'll check the chat. Okay, so stay tuned, guys. And if you want to see me, I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, baby. So hit that subscribe button. All right, so let's get right into it. First of all, good morning, Jim. You're already in here. Good morning, good sir. Way to be here on time. So first thing we're going to do, guys, we need to go through these large caps. I've been through them once on my own at 6 this morning, and things are looking very, very interesting. So we need to zoom out on this hourly here, guys. This is the daily on the bottom, the hourly on the top. So what are we looking at here? Well, we're above the 200-day moving average, and also we created this range right here at 392. We broke above that. We broke back down to test that trend line. And then I have myself playing somewhere that I need to quiet it down, so let me do that. And now we've broken up above it again. So now we're starting to create this base at 395, which is looking really, really good for the overall SPY. Because last time we were up here in this area, this is the 200-day moving average, and it just kept bouncing its head off that 200. Now that we're above it, that's really, really good sign. Now, guys, I'm not expecting anything too crazy today because the FOMC meeting is coming out tomorrow. You need to keep that in mind. With the FOMC meeting coming out tomorrow, we are probably going to have kind of a slower day, but we can still play these ranges. I don't think we're going to see anything go too crazy, too popping off at the mouth, if you will. But if they do, we want to be there. We want to make sure what we see, what we do is going to be A-okay. So I want to make sure I'm marking out these levels, marking out these lines to make sure I know where things are supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and move this one up here because I like these tops. That's going to be its resistance right here now. Because after, or I'm sorry, this is going to be its support, right? Or regardless, you can call it resistance regardless because it's resisting this area. But this is going to be what I would consider its support, and resistance is going to be overhead. Its next area of resistance is 398, but those were in pre-market 398s. So we'll see how well those hold up. But that does look like the next area, to be quite frank. So what I personally would like to see is it come back and retest this anyway. Now, with the FOMC meeting, we're probably going to have a lot of different things going on today, but we're going to look at our levels because yesterday, if you guys remember, yesterday was pretty chop in the morning, and it was hard to really find those levels on the and create that technical analysis. And I even said it here with you guys, but today we're going to stay focused, laser focused. So look at this IWM. Don't worry about this wick. This is one of those dark pool wicks that people talk about. I think it's just a misprint. To be very honest, it's a misprint. So, oh yeah, my swag. All right, so IWM actually finally broke above. So we've seen in pre-market, it broke down this 170 area that we were trying to defend. This 170 was its most recent low in the past few months. Well, actually, the last time we were here was in 2022. So yeah, a little over 6 months ago. Previous to that. So it hit this low, it bounced off, and it actually broke this downward trend line. Okay, this downward dog here. It actually broke out above it in pre-market, so we're probably going to want to see this thing come back and test as well. So if I just drag this out, if this thing pops back up here, we might see it come back down and retest this area, or let's say retest this 173. So we'll just mark that out as well, so that we can see that we have our support below us, and we will see if we can keep on keeping on with this. So overall, the market is looking a lot more healthy than what it did a few days ago, so that's positive news. Now let's look at the Qs. Speaking of positive news, look at this, man. This is almost looking just like Apple, and we'll get to Apple here in a minute because Apple is right there at its breakout price. So it's very, very important that we keep an eye on Apple because that is going to pull the market in either direction, as well as Tesla. So stick around, guys. We have a lot to cover today. There's a lot of really, really cool plays that might pop up today, and if we mark these levels, if we find these levels, we definitely will be able to find ourselves a tasty little trade. So this little sip of coffee is for me, and then I gotta fill it up. Let's do it. Let's just give us a little spot. Good morning, B. Stewie. Good morning, brother. All right, so right back at it, we got the Qs. The QQQ's popping off right back up here at these tops, guys. This looks great. Now I have this pool of liquidity drawn out for you. Nothing too crazy, but if you take a look at it, this is its trading range, and now we're back in that trading range, which is absolutely glorious, especially for the overall Qs. The Qs are what's going to drag everything up because it's so heavily weighted in so many other things. We're talking about Amazon, your Apples, your Teslas. They're all in these Qs here, heavily weighted tech, and we know tech is hot right now, guys. Tech is extremely hot right now, so that's what we're looking at. So this is a nice little range here, guys. If this wants to get back up into this might be a nice little short for today. Let's say it gets up to this 310 area. I would love to see it get up there for a short. Now I'll be looking more for, my Apple to short or my Microsoft to short or whatever, depending, rather than playing the actual Qs, maybe the SQs or the TQs. But that's all in good time. So we will see. Does this thing want to break out and get up to this 310 area? That would be a nice area for a short, in my opinion, because it's not ready to take off past that. Now, I've been wrong before. These are buy or sell recommendations. If this thing wants to go to the moon, it will probably be without me because I'm still expecting some range-bound trading until after the FOMC meeting, which is tomorrow. I will be here all stinking day for you guys, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see me pop up first thing tomorrow morning, and you can join us at any time throughout the trading day because I'm going to be here all day giving you the live news, commentary, and analysis, baby. You know how we do it. So make sure you hit that subscribe, guys. So next up is Netflix. Good old nestling Netflix just chilling down here. Look at this beautiful cup. Now we thought we were going to get a little handle here, but we did not. It came right back down and tested this area, broke through, and came back up. Now it's back up in this trend line. So I drew this trend line off of this, and it's just been fighting this trend line. So we're just getting back above that trend line finally after a big breakdown. I even told you guys if it breaks this trend line, we have the ability to go all the way down and retest this 200-day moving average. This thing has held, so that's really, really good for Netflix. I know some people that are in Netflix, so I'm obviously rooting for Netflix and everybody's accounts, right? So Netflix is pretty heavily weighted in a lot of the accounts as well. So Netflix is above that trend line, and that's looking very, very good for Netflix overall, guys. So keep that in mind. Netflix is looking strong, but we are still at an area that the last time we were here, it sold off pretty hard, okay? It came up here, when it was up here last time, it sold off hard. It came up here again, it sold off pretty hard. And look, if it gets back up here again, just like the QQQs, it most like, or I'm going to expect at least a little bit of a pullback. Even if the pullback is from 315 down to 310, that's the type of pullback I'm kind of looking for, guys. So keep that in mind. Let's go on to Microsoft now. Okay, good old MSoft. Let's see how you're doing today. So it looks like Microsoft is sitting right on the support. So yesterday we seen it just fail. Well, everything was doing something different, right? We had Tesla taking off yesterday. We had Meta doing its own thing, just kind of basing around. Well, Microsoft sold off hard and then traded sideways. Okay, and that was a really good sign for the overall strength because we know we had this support back here and we didn't want this support to break. So right now, right where Microsoft sits, I like this for the long side. Now, these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just a big, heavy, overly weighted chin in front of this camera today, guys. And I'm looking at Microsoft saying, this looks good. So just keep in mind, it's my thoughts, not yours, okay, guys? Now, this is squatting down on this 272 area. It's trading at 273.06 for Microsoft right now. Our highs for Microsoft in the past 6 months is 283.33. So we're just below that area by $10. This looks like a beautiful trade. Now, if it breaks down from here, we're probably going to go down and retest this area down here at 259, or heck, if it's strong, we'll stop at 265 and take a little testy test there. But from what I'm looking at, I really like this area as support because after all of that pullback that we've seen from Microsoft, it held true to this level. So I would like this as a risk. I like this as a risk. So A part of me just wants to grab, 10 shares just to see, what'll happen here, and I can comfortably risk this base, this bottom here at 270. But that is to come, guys. That's just something I'm going to keep an eye on. I don't want to get too crazy in the pre-market, as you know. I want to use this pre-market as our time to do our due diligence. So, guys, we're going to run through the large caps, the small caps, the news, the earnings, and then we will hit up the chat, okay? So make sure if you got something that you want to say it in the chat. So when I get back to it, I'll be happy to look it over. So, yeah, I really like this Microsoft here, guys. It's really, really nice here. This thing has the ability to really run. It's already shown us its true colors, meaning it's shown its strength. Microsoft has shown that it is a true leader in this market still, and that it can hold out just like some of the other stocks we're going to go over. So let's take a look at AMZN, Amazidian. Yes, no, I did not draw these lines out before you guys got here. I drew these out during live chat yesterday, guys. All we're doing is marking out these tops and marking out these tops, and look at, they are bouncing off of these, right? So now if you can tell, after it finally broke through this resistance here, it still came back and tested right here. That's why I say I love playing these retests, guys. So if it breaks out and it comes back and it retests and it holds, then we play it, right? As to where this one broke through and it came back to retest, but it just failed. This one broke through, it came back to retest, and it failed. So that gives you really, really quick answers right away. Whereas this one came up, it tested, it came back down, it retested. That is our entry. So it broke out here, it tried to come back to retest, and it failed. Where this one broke out, came back, retested this area, and took off to the north side. So then what happened? It came back and retested this new area here, so we wanted it marked because it's acting as that support. All right, so we have support, we have our resistance, and now we know where to play. So AMZN is in between these lines, right? This 96 and this $100 area. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Let's see, who is that? Let me see if I can read it. Safar, thank you very much. I do appreciate the subscription, man. We are going to be here live every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. But tomorrow we will be here from 8 until 4. So thanks for hitting that subscribe button, brother. It always helps out making this channel grow so stinking fast, guys. We've been here for like 6 weeks and we have over 350 subscribers. You can see it here. We are going to grow so fast, and we aren't going to pay for subscribers. We're not going to do any of that crap. I want real subscribers. Now, I know a lot of people like, well, you got to pay for subscribers so people think that you're hype. No, we're going to be hype, guys. That's why we're here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, because we are the hype, and you aren't going to find it anywhere else. Nobody's going to do it as passionate as me, and I can guarantee it. I put a stamp of approval on that, baby. So anyway, Amazon is just kind of bouncing around in between these areas, between this 96 and this $100 area. So as we bounce in between here, we can play these ranges. Now, if it wants to break out through one way to the other, then what am I looking for? A retest, right? So if this wants, let's say this come back and retest this in the morning, this would be a great area for me to use as a risk, right? You can get in anywhere just above it and using this as risk, or even this low of yesterday as risk, depending on how you play and what you like to do. Okay, guys? So I like Amazon, but right now it's kind of in purgatory right here in this middle. So we're going to go ahead and steer clear of that one. We're going to wait for it to either hit a high or a low. Now, Meta. Look at Meta. It gapped up this morning right into resistance. So I'm going to expect, and now this might not happen, but I'm going to expect that Meta has a pullback with the rest of everything. Maybe it even pushes to these highs at 206, and then it comes back to retest. But we need to see a retest here before I do anything. Now, I've noticed too, there is a lot of aftermarket and pre-market trading on Meta, which is very, very odd to me. You know, it happens. All I'm saying is that, you know, I'm not used to seeing so much action in the pre-market from a large cap equity like this. So we're really going to have to wait and see what it wants to do here, because if we just marking its highs, we know that this mark here is a double top from back here. It makes this huge cup, right? And then you have this another mini cup, right? But we would consider this the handle. So actually on a William O'Neill's breakout strategy, or William O'Neill's cup and handle, this is your cup, this is your handle, and then anywhere in this area is going to be your entry price using this as your low. So if you're not in this trade already, I don't suggest getting into it at these highs, but if we were to have that pullback, this might be a nice area to start averaging into. So those are my thoughts, not yours. Good morning, New Vision. Goodness, you're up early, good sir. Let's go ahead and look at NVDA. So NVDA is pushing right at those highs. What is that line right there? Well, I've pulled this line. Let's look back here on the left-hand side. I pulled these lines off of the average volume weighted average price, which is the VWAP area on the daily, off of this, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull it off of this as well so we know where it's at. But I'll also mark the high on this since we haven't cleared it just yet. So that's what we got going on here, guys. We have this big bout of liquidity, and liquidity. So lots of price action in this area, and it's sticking right there, guys. So what I'm going to expect is this thing to come back down and retest this area. I think NVIDIA is going to play range bound for a little while, waiting for its moving averages to catch up, but this thing is a wild card because it is such an extremely volatile mover in this market, and it being a leader, it could very well break out and take off from here. If it does, I can't be a part of this unless it comes back to retest. If I want to be a part of that retest, I need to be extremely patient. As to where yesterday, because you're a loser, unless you're learning, guys, you're a loser unless you're learning. So I learned from yesterday. Apple. Now, we took some money from Apple yesterday, and we'll go over it in just a second, but we'll keep the SPY up here on the top right, and on this left-hand side, we're going to keep going. And when I get to Apple, we'll talk about what I have learned from Apple yesterday. Now, I made plenty of money on Apple yesterday. You guys were here with me when I took those trades, but in the after hours, I made a little bit of extra money in the Apple. But here's the thing. I learned some stuff from it. Even though I was green, I didn't like the way I played it out, so I need to learn from those mistakes before those greens turn into reds. All right, next up we have Tesla. Good old Uncle Tesla. Look at this, guys. If you want to see a beautiful chart, look at this. Now, I have a mess on here. Maybe I clear this out before I tell you to look. Let me clear this drawing set. But look how beautiful this is, guys. Wow, I got to get rid of this alert too. But this is just extremely beautiful. Why do I say that? Because we have so many perfect levels on this area. Let me just go ahead and draw these out. So we have all of this basing, but because we have formed a new base right here, look at all this price action here, right at this 176. It's just beautiful to see, guys. We have it touch here, and then once it breaks through, it's resistance, 1, 2, 3, 4. It breaks through. Now it's support, 1, 2, 3, right? And it's taking off. And now look what it just cleared out. It just cleared out a new area of resistance. What does that mean for that resistance? That means if we come back down to retest this top, this 185, 186 area, we'll call it 185. If it wants to come back and retest this top, that might be a great trade. So let's see this thing push up to 190, okay, find some selling pressure, come back down, retest this 185, and then take off higher, okay? So I am looking bullish, but we need to understand that, you know, with the FOMC meeting coming out tomorrow, we don't want to be full bull. We don't want to go full bull on this, okay, guys? Don't go full bull. Never go full bull. But no, I'm only teasing. You guys do your thing. Look at the screen really quick, guys. Just while you're here, if we scroll down, we just smack this like button. We already have 5 likes. Goodness gracious, guys. You are already on top of it this morning. And while you're down there, if you want to hit that subscribe button, I do my absolute best to bring you the best information. Infotainment, I think, is what I'm trying to say. But either way, if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me talk about it so we can be about it, baby. So Tesla is looking absolutely amazing here, trying to break out of this 185 area. Can we break out a little higher so David can get a nice little pullback test? Now let's look at Apple. So Apple, you guys were here. I was fighting Apple. All the way up. And what is in between here? There's nothing in between here. We only have this base and this base. So why was I fighting Apple all the way up? Well, I was too zoomed in. And so I was in on the 5-minute on Apple. All right, let's take a little peeky gander. And if you guys could tell, I kept trying to short this area and getting breaking out, and then it moved up a little higher and I started shorting this area, and then I started shorting this area, when really the only real short there was in this area at 156 because we have price action there. So I had learned from that very, very quickly. I also took the breakout on this 156, I do believe. Yes, I did. 156, no, was it 157? The short was at 157, so I played this breakout to 157, and then I tried to short 157 and got stopped out. I will have to bring that trade up, but we made a pretty penny on this. I did call it out in chat. I was supposed to hold on to that short from 157, but because how strong everything looked, I switched my bias and I got in, and then after we traded sideways, I exited that position. So right now on Apple, we are at these tops, okay? This 157.77 is its tops for its past 6 months. Now, if we look at the book maps here, guys, take a look at the screen. This book maps looks ever living crazy, but you guys need to look at this once in a while because it shows our areas of liquidity. Where's our highest traded areas of liquidity? Well, if we look at this huge red bar here at 157, that's a huge area of liquidity. And look at 158. That is a huge area of liquidity. So that being said, guys, when we're looking at the chart, we need to think 157, 158. All right, so here's 157, right? Here's 158. So 158 is the top, 157 is the bottom, and these are the areas that we're going to want to try and play in, okay? Now they're very short, very liquid areas, but very small area to play, so dollar range in this area. And personally, what I think is going to happen is it's going to play in this range quite a bit. If it breaks to one side or the other, I'm going to look for the pullback to retest so we can try and take in either a short or a long. So guys, I'm not going to look at this thing and say, hey, I'm a bear, or hey, I'm a bull. I'm going to say, hey, if it does this, then I wait for this and then I react. Or if it does plan B, then I wait, I make sure it is doing exactly how we have planned it, and then I take my attack. So if it breaks above 158 and wants to come back and retest, or if it breaks below 157 and wants to come back and retest, that will tell me whether I want to be long or short in this name. But from the book maps, guys, you can see just how fiery this 158 is. It's going to want to drag that market, as my buddy Stu likes to say. The liquidity, the algos want to go where the liquidity's at. It almost like is a magnet, and it's pulling it up to it, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. This is looking absolutely scrumptious for Apple. There's a lot that can be said for Apple in these areas. With the way this is looking like an accumulation, if the thing wants to actually take off and get above this 158, you know, this, I mean, so this is what I mean. So when we were down here at this 157, I don't know if you can really see it, what I seen yesterday, because it's back in the past. On book maps, you can't really see that. But when it was on this 157 and it came up and it tested and it failed, but right when it got up to here, I seen a huge green blurb. And when it did that, it jumped up in volume, and then that's why I took the trade. I think I got in at 157.18 is what it was. So I was just right in right here as it took off, and it was just such an easy, beautiful trade. I was very, very happy with it. But yesterday was over trading, so we're going to keep an eye on that again today. So let's keep on moving. All right, let's take a look at Google. Google's right back up there at its 200-day moving average. The last time we were in this area, it bonked its head on this downward trend line and started heading lower. And that's exactly what we seen happen yesterday too. It bonked its head, it headed lower, but excuse me, it made new higher lows. Okay, see this? This is its base. Okay, and then it pushed up, it bonked its head, but it only came back down to VWAP and it held. That's a really, really good sign for Google. So if it wants to hold and it wants to keep making new lower highs, then this has the ability to push up through, come back and retest before it takes off higher without us. So it's trading above that $100 area, and it looks like it's using this $100 area as support. So I do like it. We're actually going to pull this down to the $100 area so you can just see that's psychological and a technical area of support. So if it wants to hold this support, and if it wants to try and break up above this, again, we might see range trading today because the FOMC meeting is tomorrow. but we will definitely see what is to come. Now, Riot, we always like to look at Riot. Well, I like to always look at Riot in the morning because it's going to give us a better understanding of what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is creating this beautiful range area right here between this 550 and this 426. Okay, so this thing has been on an absolute bull run. It looks extremely strong. Now, personally, I still, because of what we like to see on Bitcoin, I would like to see this thing like flush down and probably catch a bid down here at 519. If that happens, if we can get a flush, then I will be using this $8 area, this double top, the 775 or $8 area, as an area of possibilities, right? Why do I say possibilities? Because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do until it's there. If the overall market looks strong and healthy, if Bitcoin looks healthy, then I will try to take another bid in Riot. But if you guys remember, I already had Riot down here. We took 30 shares and we got rid of those once it breached this area. Once we started seeing resistance, we got out of this area, and then after it broke back through, came back and retested. I actually had a bid out on that, but I did not take that bid. So, of course, yes, I'm kicking myself in the butt now because of that, but it's a-okay, guys. You know, sometimes it hurts more when you miss the trade, but after you've been trading for so long, you can let a lot of those go. So, one thing I just wanted to keep an eye on was Etsy, just because it's running right back into this, and I'm going to keep an eye on it every day. Let's take a look at Snap. Good old Snap. Aw, Snap. So Snap is forming this base. Yes, I drew this line for you guys out the other day. It's not magic. These are just tops. These are just areas of liquidity. These are just volume weighted average prices of support and resistance. So as you can see, it's tested multiple times and it's held. So this is looking strong at 1060. You know, I'm having a hard time finding a good spot to get in Snap, and I'm probably gonna I need to clear this out. Let's clear this drawing set. It's looking so gross. But, you know, with Snap finally creating earnings, it came back up. It retested its all-time highs in the past, not all-time, but it's past 6 months. It's creating new higher lows, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're in this area of $10.66. Snap is trading currently. You know, I like Snap. I use Snap. I don't know how many people use Snap, but maybe we should take a poll. Let's start a poll. Do you use Snapchat? Question mark. And we'll just wait until we get about 20 people. So guys, I got a poll up. Let's see. I use Snapchat, so I am going to go ahead and hit yes on this poll here, guys. Make sure you're live. Click that live button while you're here. Then you're going to scroll down, and I use Snapchat, so I'm going to say yes. But let me know if you use Snapchat. This I'm going to kind of use this poll is just to kind of see if you know, if it works for you. Do you use Snapchat? If you do, you know, I want to know what it's like. Hopefully we didn't lose. Yeah, we got excellent connections. So it seems like every time I pull up that Facebook thing, it gets me a little iffy in the chat, just simply because it's trying to load constantly. So I hope everything's running smooth for you guys. I'm going to keep on carrying on. Okay, so we got the NASDAQ, which is looking like the Qs in a sense. We're trading at these highs well above the 200-day moving average, looking absolutely scrumptious. So let's look at the VIX and the dollar, and let's see how that's working out for us, okay? So the VIX and the dollar. Let's take a peek. The VIX looks like we're back down to that 22 area. So don't sleep on the VIX, guys. With the FOMC meeting coming out, it could be absolutely nuts. This could really be crazy. The VIX volatility, excuse me, when it gets up in these areas, trading gets very hard, gets very, we start seeing a lot of sell-off and stuff like that. So it's getting lower and lower, as you guys can see. You know, this was the March when we had the, why can I not think? I need some more coffee, guys. Here, let me take a sip and we'll get right into it. Now, this is when the COVID happened, right? VIX volatility went crazy. What happened when the VIX went up? Well, the S&P 500 just cracked and it caved down, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. When you have issues like that, when you have the VIX going up, a lot of times we see volatility trading off. So, you know, be careful with all that. We want to make sure that we are all staying very safe out there. What do I use for the dollar? Yeah, so I use dollar DXY. So the dollar DXY is what I use, New Vision, and I like to go over the dollar every day just to see where it's kind of sitting. So when it comes to this dollar, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. When it comes to this dollar, it looks like it is bumping its head off that 200-day moving average and starting to head lower. That is very, very, very good for the overall market, guys. So keep that in mind. If you want the market to go up, you want this to go down, okay? So we have a little bit of all that. Now, the only few mentions I want to take a look at is the semiconductors. This is the ETF for the semiconductors. We're right here, just like Apple, right at these tops. And if it wants to break out of these tops, I do have something marked to let us know when it does. And it looks like it's doing that in pre-market right now. So that's really, really nice to see. If you're looking for an ETF that's strong right now, SMH is one of your strongest ETFs that you could possibly be in. So keep that in mind, guys. Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's just go back to here. Hopefully that fixes it. We don't want to have any... is everything running smooth for you, New Vision? No lagging? Let me know. I want to make sure everything's running smooth. It says excellent on the connection, but I'm starting to see a little strays here and there. So here we go, guys. SMH trading just above that its all-time highs in the past 6 months, so it's looking pretty good. And one other thing I want to look at is FDX, just because it had this huge push up in the earnings and then it just sold off hard. So let's take a look at gold. So I like to look at gold just because we were at these highs, we were at these peaks here. And so now for gold, really, you know, I wanted to take a short. I really did, and I hate to say shoulda, woulda, coulda kind of crap with this, but I did. I wanted to take a short in gold because we were at these all-time highs, and, you know, we still can. We still can. Any kind of pop we get, you know, maybe back up here to this one, or this 1982, might be a good area for a short. We also have light sweet crude. I like to look at crude because we want to see oil prices going down, and it looks like they have been. You know, they've been selling off, where it looks like if we pop back up, the 73 is going to be a big area of resistance for it. So we're going to see what else happens with that in the future. And then, of course, we have Mara, which is, like I've told you guys before, make sure you're in the leaders. That's why we have identified Mara as being a lagger and Riot is a leader, okay? Thank you, New Vision. I appreciate you letting me know that it's smooth. So that's why we identify these guys. Mara is the slower mover, as Riot is the leader, and that's why we identified these before we decided to play them. And anytime you decide to play anything in any type of area, Muley, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. If you look at these areas, that's why we look at Mara and we look at Riot to compare them. And we'll just show you one more time how I did this, guys. So pay attention. Look at the daily here. If I zoom in on this base and zoom in on this base, before we had any of this, before we had any of that, the first thing I looked at was who's trading above the 200-day moving average, and that was Riot. So I said Riot is our leader. We can forget about Mara. So we focused on Riot, and that's why we took this trade at this base and didn't take this trade down here at this base, because that's looking weak. This was looking strong. So anytime we talk about, you know, that's why, you know, we talk about ARRY, right? ARRY, we were talking about it for a long time. For a long time, we were talking about ARRY, and it has earnings coming up on the 21st. So today in, let's see, the conference call, Market Standard Central Time. So at open, ARRY is going to be having their earnings. So that should be very, very interesting. Now, in that same sense, we were watching ARRY until FSLR came out and showed us that FSLR is our leader in this market, right? When it comes to First Solar, when it comes to solar panels, FSLR, there is no denying it, that it is the leader in the market, okay? Just like, hey, if you ask what's the leader in the EVs, you would say Tesla, right? Because Tesla is the leader in that market. Okay, you wouldn't say Mullen. Mullen's the leader, because if we look at MULN over here, yeah, Mullen's the leader. It's down here and it's trading like at 13 cents, well below its 200-day moving average and forming new higher lows, or I'm sorry, new lower highs. Okay, as to where Tesla is still below that 200-day moving average, there's no denying that, but it's trying to create new lower highs here. So we at least have some argument with Tesla. Now, Tesla isn't just an EV. We can argue all day about that, we know, but I'm just trying to show you, if you're looking for a leader, find your leader, stick with that leader. So Hello guys, good morning. New Vision, good morning. Awesome. Yeah, invite your friends to LoFiTrader. Absolutely. You know, the more the merrier. Absolutely. But okay, we're through the large caps. Now, I will have to say this is kind of boring for the small caps. We're still going to go through the small caps on what has the most relative volume. So we have UNCY. I've been talking about UNCY from its inception, and it actually looks like it's trying to hold this area. I have a short on UNCY, UNCY, in case you don't understand why I bring that up. But UNCY looks really, really good in these areas. If you guys remember, I tried to play this once. I just took a $2. Now, I told you guys I wanted to see many, many more days build out. But look, why did I want to see that? Well, look at this. See this 10-day moving average? Now, not only do we have a 10-day moving average, but it also looks like we have a new base that's forming right here at where? Oh, psychological $2 area. So I like UNCY because the last time we looked at this, we looked at its biggest area of liquidity, and it was this $3 area. It came up into this $3 area and sold off pretty hard. So now we have UNCY trading right here above that $2 area. So the first thing I ask is, UNCY, what kind of short interest do we have on this? And we're only looking at 1.63% on its short interest. So what else do we need to know, guys? We need to know what size float is that baby trading. And as you can see on my screen here, this pulls up all the data. Everything that I show you guys is free. I will never ask of any money or anything from you guys except for 3 things. Like, subscribe, and be here for that pre-market prep like you are right now. So this is UNCY. I use floatchecker.com because it is free, and it also brings up every one of these floats right here. So across the board, we're looking around 8.8 million for that float. So we know this is a rip your face off. Take those socks and leave them behind because you are getting uppercutted to heaven. That's how bad this thing is, okay? UNCY can really make or break your account. So I like where it's at, but if we wanted to use this as risk, if we took 100 shares, we would be risking $25 down here at this base, okay? So keep that in mind. I like the risk. I like the reward on this. It looks good here if you can fight this risk. So if you can be in this and hold off in this and, you know, say, if it breaks that $2 area that you're safe to get out, you have a hard stop or even, you know, any kind of stop on that, then good for you. You know, that's what we want to see. So that's UNCY. Let's look at ELEV. ELEV does look like it's holding that $2 area. It needs to hold that $2 area in order for it to look like a tasty trade. XPON still, look at this. XPON's been following its 10-day moving average for a long time now. Now it's squatting down right here on this 10-day moving average. It is a trade that I do like to see. I like to see them squatting. And if it breaks out in this area, that could be a Chris Quilamagi type breakout trade. So what I will do is I will just hit an alert so that way we can be alerted to it. Not saying that that's something I want to play. Just like this JSPR, I don't ever want to play JSPR again. I've tried multiple times on this breakout and during stream. That's why I don't care for these breakouts anymore, guys, just because I just keep getting messed up in them. And I don't want to continue to just doing, I don't want to continue just doing these these breakout trades. They're garbage. So until they start shaping up, until we start seeing something awesome happen with these breakout trades, that's when I will start taking more breakout trades. So let's take a look at SJM. And if you guys have any more small caps, any low caps, anything like that, let me know in the chat. Let me know what you got for those small caps, and also make sure you're leaving some information for me on the poll. Let me know if you use Snapchat. Do you use Snapchat? Is Snapchat still relevant? Do people still use Snapchat? Just let me know if you actually use Snapchat or not. It doesn't matter if you do or you don't. I'm just happy that you're in here watching watching me talk. So let me take a sip. This one's for you, not for me. All right, B. Stewie writes in the comments, he says, oh wait, first of all, he says, the sprinkles are for you, Lo-Fi. Absolutely love the show, baby. Let's make some money. Yeah, baby. Then we got Granny Rainey popping in. Congratulations, Uncle Michael. Hi, everyone. Granny Rainey, good morning. We know Granny Rainey is here. She is my guardian angel. She keeps an eye on me from time to time, and we do appreciate you swinging in here every day, Grandma, and leaving us some of that love. So my thoughts on SJM. My thoughts on SJM, well, let's take a little peeky gander. Smuckers. Well, the first thing I gotta say is Smuckers, my first thoughts, delicious. Absolutely delicious. I don't think we got Smuckers in the fridge because I buy the off-brand Aldi's, but that's A-okay. But Smuckers is looking good here. We have this nice uptrend. I don't really need to draw this uptrend out for you guys. You can see it. It's clear as day, and it's following a 200-day moving average. So as you guys know, if you see something following a 200-day moving average, I wouldn't buy this thing anywhere away from that 200-day moving average. So 142 was the trade on this if you were looking for your long-term account. Because it came down and tested that 200-day moving average. That was a good spot to get in a good area for a risk. Now it looks like it's a little extended from there. So did you miss your timing on Schmuckers? Possibly, but overall this is a great stock to be watching because it's constantly on an uptrend and people need food. So even in time like trial times where sorry guys, excuse me, I'm just feeling a little sick really quick. Make sure the bucket's back here. Yep. We're gonna put the bucket here in case I puke. If I puke, I'm gonna keep on going though. I don't care. It's all about this stream, baby. So anyway, so if we take a look at Smuckers, delicious and nutritious Smuckers, right? It's constantly on an uptrend. It's constantly found that 200-day moving average, and we need food, right? What happens when you're feeling down and you're in the dumps and COVID's going on? You're gonna run to your store, get yourself some Smuckers, get yourself some peanut butter, get yourself some bread. You got yourself a cheap snack, lunch and dinner, and heck, you fry it up. You can do much different things with it. So I think Smuckers is here for a while. So if you're looking for a long-term trend, a long-term account, Smuckers is looking very good. Now it's also a very slow mover. It only moves 1.8%. It is a big boat. This will be found in your Dow Jones Industrial as well. So keep that in mind. Just an honorable mention is this THMO that hit these highs and started to fail. BLPH looks like, actually, BLPH looks like it's holding up. It's looking formidable. It looks like it broke above this and is holding that $7 area. So excellent, excellent job there. And we'll look at AI. So AI is still holding all of those gains. We haven't came back down to retest this area yet. But I only got 5 shares in this. This looks like a great area to add since it's holding new higher lows. But if it can't hold and it wants to break down again at 222.55, it needs to hold a new higher low, or I'll be exiting this trade. Now, this is a great area of support down here. That's why I took it, because our boy B Stewie pointed this thing out, and it looks absolutely amazing for a risk-reward trade down there at those lows. All right, QQQ still holding this, looking absolutely amazing up at these tops. I need to run through, first, let's give the news, guys. So the news for today, let me take a look. We have the existing home sales comes out at 10 o'clock. So what's the news on the existing home sales? I can just read it to you guys really quick. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The existing home sales measures the change in the annualized numbers of existing residential buildings that were sold during the previous month. So all homes sold during the previous month, okay? So it measures the change in the annualized numbers for the existing residential buildings that were sold. Okay, so this report helps gauge the strength in the U.S. housing market and is a key indicator for the overall economic growth. So that being said, guys, that comes out at 10 o'clock. It can be a big mover, but I don't think it's going to be a big mover. I think we have a lot that's already priced in, but I think the biggest mover is going to be CPI. I don't think people are going to go, oh wow, we haven't sold, or we have sold more homes than usual. The market's a bull run, all in. No, everybody's waiting till tomorrow, guys. Trust me. Everybody's waiting till tomorrow. Everybody wants to know, what is the rate hike decision gonna be? Okay, that really is the main question. What is old Papa Powell going to do? He's got a lot of pressure here, okay? He raised interest rates to the point where he broke something, right? He's broke something now. He's broke the banks, right? Technically, he didn't break it. The banks did it to themselves, guys. They have to take full responsibility. We can't put it on Papa Powell. He's trying to get inflation down for us, but they also printed all the money too. So it goes full circle, guys. It goes full circle. But yeah, so that's what we got coming out for the news, guys, is we have the existing home sales, and that's just going to give us a little indicator of what is to come. But I think the real push is going to be tomorrow, guys, and I'm going to be here all day tomorrow, 8 o'clock until 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to be my first all-day stream, and you know, I really hope that you guys can be a part of it, so make sure you hit that subscribe so you can be here. So let's run through these indices really quick because it is 8:43, so everything's looking pretty good, pretty tasty. So we're at these highs for the SPY right now. When I say at these highs, I'm saying it's above the 200-day moving average, and since closing, we are up another 0.5%, another 0.81% for the SPY. So that's, it doesn't sound big, but for the SPY, that's pretty big, guys. We're pushing up here at these highs in the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So this is very cool. It's very, very cool to see this. Very exciting time right now in the market. So from where we're at, looking kind of extended, I would like to say, you know, we might see a big pullback here in the market before trying to head higher, or like I've been saying with a lot of these stocks, when you're looking at them, it's probably going to be range bound for a lot of these tech stocks, and that's just kind of I'm just thinking out loud here, guys, but range bound probably is what's going to happen because people aren't going to want to be fully on board or fully off the ship until tomorrow. They don't want to be fully on board because what if this happens or what if that happens, and they, you know, they don't want to not have everything in there. So I think we're going to be range bound today, guys. I think we're going to be bouncing around from our tops and our bottoms. So for the Q, you know, we might see a push up here to these highs of 310, 311, and then pull back down and then start trading around this 300 or this 304. Not 300. We don't want to see it come down that low, but 304. So let's take a look at Netflix. As everything's pushing up, it looks like Netflix is also pushing up into that resistance area. The last time we were up in this resistance area, it sold off pretty hard and then bounced off VWAP, and now we're back up here again. So we know if it wants to continue to hold this uptrend and it wants to keep putting pressure on this area, we might see a nice little breakout for that. But we have Microsoft now. So Microsoft is at this area of support, and I really like this support. You know, I really hope that we get a nice little flush down here in the morning so that way I can buy up some Microsoft. So first thing in the morning, I'm going to be running through the indices, staying as completely focused as I possibly can, just because, you know, guys, there's been a few mornings where, you know, I kind of get a little lost in the morning. So right at morning open, I have a new way we're going to really stay focused to make sure I know all my levels. Now, Amazon just kind of trading in the middle here. We did find some resistance right here at this $98, $99 area, and it looks like it's selling off. So can Amazon create new lower highs, or maybe it flushes down here, it tests this 96.48 area, and then we get another bounce up? So we will see. So Meta gapping up this morning, looking really good up in this gap up. But, you know, personally, in this area of liquidity right here, I think we could see some selling off and heading. Can we get back online, please? I wanna be back online, please. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. How's everybody doing? Are we back online or not? Are we back online? Goodness, I sure hope so. Let me know in chat if you guys can see me, if we're back online. It says the stream's healthy and excellent. I sure hope we are back, because that's probably the longest you guys ever heard. Good, B. Stewie, good. Wow, that's probably the longest you guys have heard somebody not talking on this stream, right? Oh, goodness. Well, there's lots of hiccups, a lot of headaches when it comes to streaming, baby, but that's A-okay, because we're back like a fiend on crack. All right, now, NVIDIA decided, hey, and guess what? That's all I needed. I needed internet issues to connect to Meta, so that way I could take that short. So there we go. Meta's got me in now. I'm short Meta, and we're up about 5 cents. So that's what, you know, all I got to do is, you know, put a decent size order out there. It's not a big order, but we just got to put an order out there on Meta, and that's how you lose connection quick. So no big deal. We had a quick reset, and thank you. If you're still here with me, guys, I appreciate you just sticking around with me. I mean, that's freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. So, guys, we have NVIDIA back up at those all-time highs. The all-time highs are 264.09, okay? Now we have about 30 minutes till, well, 40 minutes till market open, guys. So keep that in mind. We want to see what this thing wants to do. But at these all-time highs, I'm expecting it to trade in a range. So I wouldn't mind taking a short on that as well. Maybe risking this top, you know. Now, I don't want to get too deep into any of these, but you know, this looks really, really good for NVIDIA where it's at. I'm still, you know, I'm still in that range-bound mode, though, because if we have this range-bound mode and we want to stick in it, then this would be a great area to short, a great area to exit, a great area to long. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by these range-bound areas. Now, we don't have a ton of range on this, where if we come down here, we have multiple days. You know, we have 1-2 days as a base. We have multiple days here as tops, so when you play these and it bounces, you know, you can get out here. As to where this is creating its own range, and it only has 2 days of that range, so it makes it a little bit more interesting. But we're going to keep an eye on it and see what wants to come of it. Okay, so now that I'm looking at Meta on the hourly, a part of me looks at this thing and says, okay, no, that's why I took it, because we're in its resistance. But it looks like it wants to push up to this double top here where my risk is. And if that's the case before market open, we're going to have to get out of this. But I want to stay in Meta to see if it wants to come down to the base of this range just until then. So we just took a very, very small trade on Meta. Now we're looking at NVIDIA for a short because it is at these highs. It is in an area of liquidity, and if it wants to pull back and head on down, I want to be a part of that. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. And guys, if you're just joining me, I am Dave. This is LoFiTrader. Good morning. Good morning. This one's for B Stewie. B Stewie, this one's for you. This will probably make my heart explode, but that's okay. This one's for you, brother. B Stewie, I know you're in that nerve center doing your sprinkles, doing your thing, baby. And you know, we all like to do our thing. We all have our own poison. Mine's just coffee. Mine's coffee and talking fast, baby. So NVIDIA is back up here at these highs. Last time we were up here, we've seen a lot of wicking on this area, right? So, you know, I'm expecting to see some type of stutter, some type of shake there to see this thing kind of head on lower after this. So we're going to see what NVIDIA wants to do in this area, but I don't want to get too crazy during pre-market. What I want to do in pre-market is make sure I know where all my levels are at. So now look at Tesla. Good old Uncle Tesla is taking off even higher now, trading at its highs at 187.43, guys. This looks absolutely amazing for Tesla. The thing is I don't want Tesla to take off without me. I want Tesla to retest so I can get in on this beautiful little run that it's got going on, breaking its highs. Just looking really, really good here, guys. Really, really good. You know, I really like Tesla where it's at. And I want to be a part of Tesla. I really do want to be a part of it. So it needs to come back and retest this area before I do anything. All right. So now we have Apple, good old Apple right there at those highs, those all-time highs. And look at that. It came right up and retested that high. Goodness, I kind of wish I would have seen that one a little sooner, right? That's a nice one right there. I would have been out of it, though, obviously, because it's just going to trade in between this range, this 157 and this 158. We know there's a lot of range-bound trading, so I think I might do that, focus on that today, where I'm just going to be playing, you know, Apple in that range area. Because if you guys look at my screen really quick. This is the book maps, and you can see there's just a ton of liquidity down here at this 157. It just seems like there's so much liquidity down here, 157 to 157.12. There's just so much. Heck, 156.92 is even bigger. I mean, there's just a ton of stinking liquidity down here. So this I want to use as kind of like a risk, right? If it wants to hold these areas, if it wants to keep bouncing into this area, then, you know, as long as it's buyers down here, you know, we don't know if it's buyers or sellers, but if it's buyers down here, to me it looks like buyers, because they're trying to buy up these lows, trying to buy these things up. So if it's buyers down here, that's really, really good news for the stock. But up here, we know that we have a lot of liquidity up there too. So is that selling liquidity, or is that even more buying liquidity? Because last time we came up to this 157 area, like I said, I seen a huge blurb. That big green blurb popped up and it took off. It didn't look back until it got up closer to that 158 area. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. We got a lot that we're looking at. This is the bookmaps for Apple. I only have bookmaps for Apple because it's absolutely free. You just got to get a hold of Thinkorswim, your broker. But this might be a nice area for a long, depending on how you like to play things. But, you know, it's down close to that 157 area again. You know, we get in long here. We play it back up to the 158. That is a possibility. But again, you know, this is pre-market. I'm kind of just talking here, guys. These aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just kind of trying to give myself a better understanding of what's going on in the market and what is to come in the market, so that way I can react instead of being all confused and trying to understand things as they're happening. So here we go. We got Google just range bound, trading in the sideways action. As long as it stays above this $100 area, I am going to like it. And now we have Riot, also just range bound, sideways action. If it comes back down to this $8 area, I do like it. So we are in this meta short sale right now at 202.81. It's trading at 203.19, so we're down about $2 on this trade. If it wants to break out, if it wants to get above this 203.67, I'll be out. I'm going to try and retest this thing back up here at these highs. So I don't really care for this trade now that I'm already in it. I know, right? But it's okay. You know, I took it. It's in its resistance, and I'm trying to get this thing to come back down here just to make a quick $25. If it can't, you know, no big deal. We'll leave with a small loss if net is necessary. So Etsy's looking good. Etsy's looking good. It's above its 200-day moving average now. Snap, yeah, you know, Snap doesn't look like you guys care about Snap too much. It says 83% of you say no, so I think I was one of the only people that said yes. We're gonna end that poll, and we're gonna start a new poll, guys, and we're gonna ask, let's see, let's start a poll, and we'll do, will the SPY end green today? And the reason why I want to ask is because we're already extended. We're already extended. If we bring up the SPY over here, guys, we're already extended. So we're already in the green here. Can it hold these greens, or are we going to come all the way back down here and close at this 192? So we'll just do a yes. And basically, if you vote on this poll, if you vote yes on this poll, right away you can tell that you will be right. If you hit yes right now, you will be in the right. But we still have time, guys. We still have time. So this thing could really come back down and fail, right? So yes, if you think the SPY is going to end green above 393, or no, you think it's going to end below 393. All right, so that is the real question for today, guys. The real question. That's what everybody really wants to know. I mean, to be honest with you, if we could just be right on every time we took these polls in the morning, we'd have a huge gathering in the morning. We'd all vote, and then we'd all make a ton of money. Yeah, will Papa Powell tank the market again? That's a great question. So if you guys were here during the meetings, not the FOMC meeting, but we had a testimony in front of Congress that Papa Powell was a part of, and it was stinking hilarious, guys. It was second he turned his microphone on at 10 o'clock. He turned that thing on, and it was the sell button. He just sold everything, right? You guys were both days. It was 2 days he was here doing that, and both days when he turned on that microphone, it just sold off so stinking hard. It was hilarious. And both days, I mean, we even said the next day, remember yesterday at 10 o'clock, right away when he turned on his microphone, everything failed. You know, that... You know, part of me just wants to, next time he does that, next time he goes to talk, I mean, because it's a bloodbath every time he goes in front of Congress, at least lately. So next time he's in that, I'm just going to go ahead and just take a small short sale and put a risk like right above wherever that candle is. So right when he turns it on, it'll drop and I'll get out. But that's kind of a lotto trade, honestly, guys. That's kind of a lotto trade. So, you know, don't take too much mind to that. So the SPY is trading at 396.92 right now. We have 30 minutes till market open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the overall indices one more time. But just keep in mind, guys, I'm in two trades. I'm in Meta and I'm in AI right now. I've been in AI since last week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. We've just been holding on to that thing. I like the risk reward on the bottom. And now we are in Meta for a short, not for a long time, just for a good time, guys. So let's go over this. I'm going to be on the 4 hour for this, so we have a even better understanding of what's going on. So We have this pool of liquidity at this $400 area. Now, I like this $400 area, definitely like it. And if you guys were here, we were talking about this 410 area for the longest time when we were in, when we first started this YouTube, right? So this thing has failed since, and we kept talking about how it needs to hold these areas. It popped back up, found this area of liquidity, and sold off hard. Now, creating new higher lows off of this base. We pointed this area out. We had it marked from a long time ago, this 380 area. I think it was 382 that we actually had marked. And then if we look, we can see that it just found that support there, and every time it's came down, it's bounced off that support. So making new higher lows, heading back up into that $400 area. Now this is going to be a real test here, guys. So it needs to hold this area. I am expecting to see some sell-off, right? So when we get up into this let's even say it makes all the way up to $400 area, that is going to be, you know, some big sell-off. So we'll just put this up here at this $400 so we know it's psychological level, but we'll also just take, so you guys have a better understanding, from the top of that, and we'll pull it all the way across so we can see where this liquidity is. So we know for a fact when it gets up into this area, it's going to be fighting, right? It's going to be fighting these areas because there's been so many people there before. And if we look across the board, we're going to see some overhead resistance, especially. What's up, Amiri? What's going on, bro? Good morning, Captain. Good morning, fellow money makers. Amiri says good morning to everybody, and good morning to you. I'm glad you're back. How was your trip? How was Mexico? Let me know about it. I want to know, seriously, like, put it in chat. I have never been to Mexico. I've never left the United States. I've been to Georgia and Florida, and when I was a baby, I was in California, but I don't like really leaving my four walls. I always say this, I'm an introvert that needs attention. It's really funny. I don't want to go out to go to any parties or bars or anything like that. I don't even like to visit. Like, I'm kind of like a guy who likes to just sit in his four walls, but I really like people and I really like to talk to people. So it's so nice to have you guys here. But I want to live through you. You know, how was vacation? How's Florida? How's Mexico? How's Canada? You know what I mean? I want to know what those places are like. So how was it, Amira? I'm glad you're back in one piece, and I'm glad that you are happy as can be. So let me know how it was, because I truly do want to know. So where are we at? We're at the SPY right now. Okay, so I marked out the liquidity areas for the SPY. Now let's go ahead and run through the IWM. Now, we know the IWM yesterday made new lower lows in the pre-market, which was absolutely scary. We talked about that. When things are scary, man, sometimes that can be the best trades, though. So it looks like that's what we're seeing right here is it created that new low. It broke that bottom of 170 and then ripped right back up. So will this be the bottom? I mean, I personally would love to say, yeah, I would love to say that. But with the overall financials looking the way they are, which we can run through right now, financials, the FRC, which is the most popular on Ape Wisdom. So I'll bring up Ape Wisdom for you guys and show you. Look at this. First Republic Bank, which is this FRC that we're going to take a look at, is the most popular. Then it's Credit Suisse, then obviously Spider, UBS, NVDA, AI, JP Morgan. So you guys can see the correlation here. What is popular right now? Well, the banks. That is what is popular right now. So we always want to take a look at what is popular because that's what we do. We're here to entertain, right? And look at FRC. You know, I was telling you guys multiple times, we can't just go, oh, you know, hey, we're going to buy these dips. We're going to buy the lows. I've had plenty of friends tell me, hey, did you buy that dip? Did you buy the dip? Why would I buy the dip? There is no support here. And so when I brought up FRC, I even brought up, hey, it does look like it's showing some proof of concept at this 1975. I drew this line out for you because it needs to hold this area. If you're buying this dip, then buy this dip here. But if you don't see a bounce, get out immediately. I want my viewers to be safe, okay? So that's why we use risk in mind, because if you got in on this 20, you got in on this $19 area and it popped up and it came right back down, guess what? You broke out for break even. You're not even hurting. You're not sweating this trade on FRC, but now it's heading lower, right? It's heading lower. So what can I see for this? Well, now that we're going to act, that is going to be its resistance, okay? Resistance, guys. When this thing pops back up, maybe we watch it. Maybe we keep an eye on this thing, so when it hits that $20 area, that $17.75 area, we can see this thing sell right back off, okay? Now we got 25 minutes till market open. So guys, keep in mind, I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. Tomorrow is the FOMC meeting. The rate hike decision is at 2, but I will be here bright and early, 8 until 4 p.m. tomorrow. So make sure you mark your calendars. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I will definitely have that in your phone. So that way you can see it pop up, you can click on it, and you can hang out with me all day tomorrow. I'll be talking just like I am today, giving you the best stock analysis, commentary, and live trades, guys. So if you want to be a part of it, hit that like, hit that subscribe, because we are doing it for you, and I want you to be here for me, just like I want to be here for you. So FRC, guys, this, and we're going to go through them all. PACW, I even drew this out where it looked like an area of resistance, because every time we came up to it, actually, I was actually acting as an area of support, because we drew this out, it broke through, and then it created this support here, and I just marked this out, and I said, hey, if it wants to hold this support, then it might be a nice area for a risk, but it didn't. It broke through and then became resistance. See, it resisted. Now if it comes back up here, if it resists again, well, this thing might head lower. But if it wants to break out through, come back and retest to show it that this area is strong, that might be a long. So, oh, you go from that's hilarious. So Amiri says, oh, Canada, LOL. I can tell you about it every day. I'm in Toronto. So you went from Toronto to Mexico. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I know Canada's cold, brother. I know Canada's cold, but that's why you went to Mexico, right? You got to take some of that chill out of there. So it looks like Amiri, she came out of her igloo and she got in her vehicle, or maybe even flew down to Mexico. What is wrong with me? I'm going to take a sip of coffee. We're just going to go ahead and interrupt. That's good coffee. But Amiri, I'm so happy you're back, but stay warm. It's another cold morning here in Michigan for me too, so I can at least relate in a certain way. But we didn't get much snow this year. Not much snow. Few bad storms, but not much snow. So hey, why don't you look that up? Let me know what Fifth Third Bank is. What is the third? Oh, what is the third bank? Sure. So that's WAL. That's Western Alliance. So Western Alliance does look like it is holding this area, guys, right here. Okay, so I like Western Alliance right now. It does look like it's forming an accumulated bottom, meaning people are buying up and defending this 2581 area. So it's sitting at 31.75, so make sure that you guys know what you're trading, right? We have a 5-cent range, so it's liquid, but you need to understand that if you're in here at 31 and you're down here at 26, your risk is enormous, right? So make sure you only take what you're willing to risk. So if I wanted to play this, I would only take one share personally, because I'm, if you're going to risk $15, $16 on this, that's one share. One share, my risk would be $15 or $16. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's look at UBS. Now, what is cool about UBS? Well, they bought up Credit Suisse. Okay, so UBS is the one that would be considered stronger because it's buying up those disasters at the bottom. So if they're buying out Credit Suisse, UBS seems to be the more stronger one. Now, I'm not saying, hey, buy up UBS. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is credit UBS. We drew this out for you. If it held this area, you could use this for a risk, because we looked back here yesterday and we said, hey, if it wants to hold this, if you want to use this as risk, we could use that as risk. And we said that yesterday when it was down here at its base, breaking up through it. Okay, so if you got in here, congratulations, you are up. You're up over $1.50 on that trade. So congratulations to you. Amiri says, yes, sir. Flew. Driving there would be a disaster. Yes, no. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm just a big talking head. Sometimes I just talk and talk. But yeah, I don't even want to imagine what it would be like if you had to drive. That would probably be, well, from Toronto to Mexico. I'm guessing that'd probably be a 25 to 30 hour drive. That's if you could drive straight there. I think that'd be 25 or 30 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you want to Google that from where you're at to see how long it would take. I'm really curious. I'm guessing 25 to 30 hours straight drive. That would be interesting to see, actually. So let's go ahead and finish running through these. So UBS is the stronger out of the three. The key bank is also showing, guys. I drew this out for you. It's holding this area of liquidity, and then you got this downward trend line that it broke out of, and now it's trading higher. So it's trading at 12.16, where you could risk somewhere, let's say, you could even risk this $10, but let's say $11 to make it an even risk. You could use this 12.16, risking $1 at these lows for this key bank. So I do like key bank. I think key bank isn't. I think they're solvent. I don't think that they're needing some kind of backstop or anything like that. So this might be a decent out of all of them. Then we got Charles Schwab. I got a buddy in Charles Schwab, and as long as it holds this $53 area, I would say Charles Schwab I'm still bullish on. So when it comes to the banks, you kind of can see which ones are the strong ones and which ones are the weak ones, right, guys? I mean, look at Credit Suisse. You know, it's kind of obvious. So 2.5 days? Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot more than I thought. I guess it depends on what part of Mexico too. So, but yeah, guys, so we got, that's the banks, that's the banking system. You know, we have a lot going on in the banking system. Not a lot that I've dove too deep into. All I know is that it's not like they're insolvent. It's not like they don't have the money. It's the fact that they have all their money tied up in assets. And so if the banks were to sell all of those assets, it would be for a huge loss. So what they do is they go running and crying to the Fed, and the Fed's like, here you go, we'll give you some money, but it's going to cost you a lot. You know, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money. So, you know, be careful out there. And so the government gives them this huge discount, and they give them their money so they can back up their money, but it's costing the banks a bunch of money. But it's better than them selling those assets, right? All right, so we have Meta finally moving up at 203.57, but we need to run through the overall indices to get a better idea, as SPY is still holding up there, up 0.86% right here in the pre-market, looking really good. It's trying to get up into that level, 397.50 level, before it wants to start selling off. So we're going to see if it can get up into that area, if we're going to see some stutters, some steps, some shakes, and where it's going to hold when it pulls back. IWM still moving higher now, as the QQQs are doing the exact same. It looks like they're trading at 308.03. Now, guys, we have 15 minutes. You heard me. 15 minutes until the market opens. So keep that in mind, guys. We don't have much longer, and this is going to be a great day for trading. I think we're going to be range bound today, and I would like to be range bound because I think that's where I can make the majority of my money playing these ranges. So we will say, hey, Stu Klott, you know, I got to point out something. Stu Klott and I, we do meetings. We go over our trades almost every day. And Stu, I just got to say, Stu pointed something out to me yesterday. I sent him my P&L, and he says, holy crap, look how many trades you took. And Stu's allowed to say that. Stu's allowed to say whatever he wants to me because he's a mentor of mine, and I absolutely love Stu. I really do mean that from my heart. I love my boy Stu. And when he pointed that out to me, the first thing I did, and I got to say this out loud, the first thing I did when I read that, my brow got, I did one of these. My brow got down like this, and I was like, why would he even say that? You know, and I got mad, and that is my cue, guys, and I want you to learn this. I want you to learn this cue, okay, because you can do the same exact thing. It's going to help you in your life. If you find that somebody has done something or said something to offend you, okay, if you feel offended, you need to take a step back and ask why. Where's the truth in it? Because if you're offended, there's probably truth in it. Now, if Stu said, hey, you got a snotty booger nose, I probably would have laughed, right? But let's say I go, oh, why would he say something? He's so mean, okay, for snotty booger nose, right? And I got mad. Well, I better go check the mirror because I'm probably mad because I know that I have a snotty boogie nose, right? So Stu pointed out that it looked like my trading was a little bit over trading, and if it's part of my game plan, if it's part of my business game plan, then more power to me. But I know just as well as he does, that's not part of my game plan. Now, if I start trading these range breaks and I'm getting in and I'm getting out and but he could tell by the way I was trading that I was just taking trades and getting out because I didn't have the right levels made. And that was Apple, guys. Yesterday on Apple, AAPL, delicious and nutritious, it came up in this area and I was too far zoomed in. Why not wait until this 156 to short? No, I kept trying to short different areas in this because I was zoomed in on the 5 minute. And Stu knows just as well as I do that we don't want to fight. Don't fight. Wait till you get into this level. Now, if I would have gotten to this level, I could have taken a nice little short. Heck, even if I would have stopped out in this level, guys, I would have suffered far less paper cuts than I did yesterday. Now, yesterday wasn't a green day. It was a great green day. We were up about $60, $65 yesterday. Absolutely happy with that green day, but we have to understand, how can we do better? And that's what my boy Stu did for me yesterday. He showed me and he pointed out to me, hey, you have too many trades, you're over trading, and unless that's part of your business plan, then go for it. But he doesn't think it is, and I sure as know that it's not. So thank you, Stu, for pointing that out. And so because it hurt me a little, I took a step back and I really realized how to make myself better. Now we have less than 15 minutes before market open. Let's take a look at NEO over here on the top right-hand side, because we know that NEO is a popular trader. But obviously the very first thing I want to point out on NEO is, one, it's under its 200-day moving average. This thing has bonked its head on its 200-day moving average multiple times. And as you guys know, if it's below a 200, I don't have too many good things to say about this. But if you're looking for a short, you can see that it had this area of support at this $10, this 950, excuse me, this 950 area. So if NEO wants to pop back up to that 950 area, I'm going to be sitting there with a short ready and willing. So we're going to go at or above. We're going to create that alert. So if NEO wants to get a nice little pop up to there, that support will now be considered resistance, guys. That is exactly how that works out. So keep that in mind, that this support is now resistance, and if it wants to break through, I can almost put a guarantee stamp of approval that we're going to at least see something happen there. It's not going to just run right through it. And if it does, well, I'll give you a t-shirt. How about that? I'll give everybody in chat today, there's 10 of you. If it actually just rips right through without stopping, I'll give you all a t-shirt. So that's my bet. That's my little side bet there, okay? I'll send everybody in here a t-shirt if NEO can break through this without stopping, meaning no stutters, no steps, okay? So that's just a little game we can play on that. So keep an eye on NEO, Amiri, and you might get yourself a nice shirt out of it. So Apple looks like it's trading at 157.14 now. We did have that pullback off that top, and now because it's at 157, this might be a nice area to buy it up. But I'm going to wait to play the range during market hours, okay? During market hours is going to be the best time to take those trades because it's going to be liquid, and I'll be able to use market to sell, okay? Market not to buy, but market to sell. Forex tall, please. I'm not sure what Forex tall. I'm sorry. What's Forex tall? Forex tall. Oh, you guys are telling me what size shirts you want to wear. Okay. I see. Well, we'll see what happens with NEO, and if NEO wants to break out through this area without stopping, then I will send it. Stu, small, B Stewie, Forex tall, and New Vision wants me to take a look at Uncle Tesla. So let's go ahead and bring up Tesla over here, guys. As you know, Tesla is going to be so interesting today. Now, we have this area marked out because that is where I want to see Tesla break down to so I can take a bid on it. Guys, I want to be a part of Tesla, dang it. I really do, and I love this breakout that it's having right now. But this breakout has some resistance up here at 190. I don't want it to get to 190 just yet. I want it to come back down because this pre-market is BS. I want to see it come back and retest this area to show its true colors, and I want to be down here at 185.38 to try and catch a bid on this trade, okay? So we're going to see what comes of that. I really would like to see Tesla come back down here and show me, hey, Michael, why don't you go ahead and buy a few here? So we're going to do at or below this area so that way we can be alerted when Tesla wants to come back down and get our butts in. So Amiri says small. Okay, we got 2 smalls and 1 Forex tall. Yeah, baby. I'll just order 2 Forex talls and then I'll cut down the Forex tall and we'll save some money there. How about that? I got a sewing machine. I know how to sew. Shoot. I've had to fix too many gis. I learned how to sew because when you train jiu-jitsu, your kimono, your gis, the things you wear, they get all tore up and ripped up, and I throw patches over them, and I've had to do it for multiple people. So I learned how to sew. So I'll I'll get 2 Forex talls, and I'll cut down 2, one for Stu, one for Amire, and then I'll send the other Forex tall to B Stewie. So that's how we're gonna do it. All right, this one. Cheers to you, Stu Clot. This one's for you, not for me. Thank you. No, that's good stuff. Now, guys, we have 9 minutes till market open, so you better believe it, baby. We got up early. We got all of these marked. We know our game plan now. We know what's going to happen, and if it happens, we're going to react. If we don't know what's going to happen, we're going to stand back, keep our hands up, and say, no, no, no. My hands are up for your protection, not mine. New Vision says, LoFiTrader t-shirt. Yeah, baby. You good with it, Stu? Yeah, Stu, I hope Stu's good with it. I know, Amiri, I hope you're good with it. Works for you, you say. Okay, good. Yeah, man, this is going to be a great day today, guys. So we got the whole crew in here, baby. I think we're missing a couple of y'all, but it's okay. We got time. Get them people in here. Let's go, baby. I'm Dave. Welcome to LoFiTrader. We're starting this thing up beautifully. It's an amazing day today. We have 8 minutes until market open. So if you want to be a part of this every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, except for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be here from 8 until 4 because of the Fed rate hike decision. If you want to be a part of that, you need to hit that like. You want to hit that subscribe because if you love trading half as much as I do, you're going to want to be a part of this ever-growing community, guys. We're up over 350 subscribers. We did 100 subscribers in less than 2 weeks. I think, heck, it might be less than a week. I really need to look into it, guys, but regardless, I don't want to focus on how fast we're growing. I just want to focus on what is up next, right? We don't want to focus on the numbers and keeping them numbers up because I don't want to be obsessed with the numbers. I want to be obsessed with you. I want to know what's going on with you. So if you don't see something that I am watching, you need to put it in the chat, guys. Throw it in the chat so I can react and we can talk about it because if you don't talk about it, you got to be about it. And you know I love to be about it, baby. So we're trading at 187.90 on Tesla right now. Tesla's looking absolutely awesome here, guys, and I really need Tesla to come on back. Baby, come back. Baby, come back. Come back to me, baby Tesla, because you know I want to be a part of you so we can ride this whip all the way up to 200. Man, oh, John Shields, that's right, baby. John Shields is in here, and he says, liked, smashed. Awesome, brother. Thank you so much, John Shields, for showing up. I just was saying, hey, look, we almost have the whole crew in here, and then John sneaky snakes right on in. So good morning, John. Good to see you. Do you have any of those low floaters that you want me to take a look at this morning before we start getting too crazy? Because it is only 7 more minutes till market open, John. So if you want me to take a look or a peeky gander, if you will, at something, then you need to let me know ASAP because things are about to go down, baby. They're about to go down. It looks like the SPY now trading at 396.96. So we'll just call it 397 to save some extra breathuses, and that area is going to be its area of liquidity where it's going to want to sell off here, guys. So this looks like a nice area to short in, but I'm not going to get too fancy during pre-market. We're going to see what the market open wants to bring us as IWM breaks that downward trend and looks like it is heading higher, trading at 176.46 now, and we have the Qs still trading up into this beautiful area. Hi, baby boy. We got this baby boy just busting in here into this room. I thought the door was shut, but it was not. So if he comes over here, I'll give him a big old pickup and a hug before we start. Come here, mister. Come on. Everybody wants to say hi to you. Come here. All right. Here's the baby. Right here, Mr. Baby. Mr. Baby. Yeah, Mr. Baby. Oh, yeah, Mr. Baby. Say hi. Say hi. Daddy loves you. All right. Here you go. I don't want to be mean, but I gotta shut this door on you, mister. I love you. Daddy loves you. Don't eat those, though. All right, guys, we are back like a fiend, scratching his neck, doing this things, keeping it clean, though. We only got 5 minutes. 5 minutes, baby, till market open. What can we do? Oof, get it, brother. All right, cool. I will. I absolutely will. Tricity, thank you so much. It's good to see you in the other chat. The other INM. Let's go ahead and look at INM. INM, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, INM is trading at 146 right now, still below a 200-day moving average. That's very obvious. But if INM wants to hold out, this would be the place it needs to hold out. It needs to hold out here, right here, because if it doesn't, there is no proof that this thing wants to do anything further and it wants to sell off to the south side. So keep that in mind, guys. We have 5 minutes till market open, probably closer to 4 minutes till market open now. And we are trading on INM into the pharmaceutical. It will rip your face off. These things are very speculative, and they absolutely love to dilute their shareholders. So keep that in mind. We're well below a 200-day moving average, and it's not the best. So yes, we have 4 minutes, guys. 4 minutes till market open, and I hope you are excited. 3 minutes, 46 seconds. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. We have a great day. Let's make sure that we aren't just getting ripperson on the meta, because we know sometimes it likes to do that in pre-market. So the first thing I am going to do is exit this trade. Why am I going to exit this trade? Well, it's pretty simple, guys. I don't like to play the market open on these, but maybe I will. It's only $5. It's only $5. We're going to play the market open on this. I'm only risking the $5 to this top here. No big deal, okay? So we're going to keep an eye on that and see what wants to go down for Meta. Maybe Meta does sell off right at the market open and we will sell out quick, but it's going to be kind of a gamble trade. It's not like this is for your entertainment. Well, let's put it that way. I expected this thing to fail in this area to make it all the way down to this base, but it did not. It just hung out. It lingered around like a smelly fart. Guys, we got 3 minutes till the market open. 3 minutes till the market open. I hope you're ready. I know that I'm ready. If you were here for pre-market prep, I know that you are ready. If you're not feeling like you're ready, then just stand back, relax, watch what is going to happen in this market, because guys, I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. Make sure you put on your calendars, tomorrow is the rate hike decision. I will be here from 8 until 4 all stinking day for that market. I bring you analysis, commentary, and live trading. If you guys can get behind that, you're going to want to be a part of this show. So hit that subscribe button, guys. We are getting ready right now for the market open. The market is going to be open in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so I sure hope you are ready, because we are ready. If you were here for pre-market prep, we drew your lines. We know our trades. We know what we're looking for, guys. So as we run through this, we only got 2 minutes left. We have the SPY trading at a resistance top area. We have the IWM still pushing up off of those bottoms. Maybe a retest is needed, as the Qs are finding resistance at that top area as well. We are trading in its resistance area. Netflix look like it's trying to create that base, trying to follow that upward trend line, but still under that upward trend line, and that might be used as resistance. So keep that in mind, guys. We have Microsoft. What a beautiful bounce off of that. I wish I took that trade now, but you know how squeamish I get in pre-market. So if this thing wants to pull back, guys, and it wants to get me in, I would love to be a part of Meta. So we're going to see what happens. I'm sorry, that's Microsoft, and we're going to see what happens. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left, guys. Things are getting awesome, very interesting, very heated. So if you like it, if you love it, if you want more of it, all you got to do is hit that like, hit that subscribe, and be here for this pre-market prep, guys. This pre-market prep is where the money is made. Yes, we don't take trades in pre-market prep, but just like painting, you got to get your tape up. You got to make sure everything looks good before you ever put the paint on the wall. So before we put a trade down, we're going to make sure we understand what's going on in the market, where our levels are at, and how to actually take those trades. So that's what we have done here, and now we have less than a minute before market open. So guys, if you love it, I love it, and we will go over INTC New Vision just after market open. Once I get through all market open, let's say 15 minutes after market open, guys, we will go through the chat, and we will figure out exactly what's going on. So we got 30 seconds till market open. If you guys want me to go over something, just let me know in chat in about 15 minutes after market open. So around 9:45 is when I'm going to go through chat. We will catch up on anything that you guys have, any tickers that are listed in there, as long as things aren't going too crazy, okay? So here we go. We got 20 seconds, guys, before the market open. I hope you're ready, because I know that I am. I'm pumped and I am excited, guys. So here we go. We got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah, baby! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You know it's LoFiTrader, baby, and we are off. Let's do this, baby. Now, right at market open, we get a nice little sell-off from Meta. We're going to go ahead and let that thing ride until we see pretty little penny down to the south side. We need to go ahead and bring up the SPY. We're going to run through right off the get. Everything is in the green, looking absolutely amazing as the SPY is pushing up to 397.57, guys. This is looking great for the overall market, at least for the SPY. Let's keep on keeping on. Here we go. We're going to zoom in here just so it looks a little bit crazy, a little bit more fun. 1. We have the IWM still pushing at 176.78, still heading higher. Look at this, guys. Absolutely amazing. As the Q, we got SMH at that same mark, ELF at that mark. We're going to go ahead and get out of this trade right now. We're going to go ahead and buy these 5. Make sure we're out of this trade for a loss of $1.35. We need to go to ELF, guys. ELF, we know, is a leader in this market and is making a new breakout. Right here is its breakout trade on ELF. I'm willing to take 5 right now just on this breakout to see what ends up happening. But keep in mind, guys, with this ELF, we have a 40-cent spread. So we don't want to get too crazy in this. Make sure you're not buying market or you're going to be down big right off the Rippy Ripperson, okay? So ELF is trying to get out of here. It's trying to break out of this area, and we're going to see what it wants to do. So if it wants to get me in, then that's a-okay. Now we're not in meta anymore. We're going to go ahead and take that trade off there, and we're going to see what comes of it. So if ELF wants to get me into this trade, that's a-okay. We'll take that trade, and then we'll reassess the situation when the time comes. But for right now, we have SMH also breaking out. So let's look at SMH. It's the ETF semiconductor, okay? It just broke those tops. It looks like it just cleared it out. So this either might be a beautiful spot to take a short, or maybe we take a long here using that same area as our risk. So if you want to do that, we would have to look at NVDA to see how that ship's shaping up. Now it is right at its top. So this would be an area that we would want to take for a short for NVDA to try and play this range. Now we're going to go ahead and skip out an SMH really quick. Goodness, as much as I would like to take a small share size because this thing is Rippy Rip Ripperson, maybe okay, so we're in on ELF. We're going to take 5 on SMH as well. So we're going to keep our low share size, and we're going to put ELF down here, and we're going to put SMH down here, okay? So we got 5 of each, and we're going to come back, and we are going to review those. So I did take a breakout on SMH. Now, I only took 5 shares. We're keeping it really small. I will cut this quick if it looks like the things are going to go to the south side. So here's the thing with SMH. This is a breakout trade, but with the SMH breakout trade, I don't plan on this thing really taking off. I plan on being in it, small share size, and if this thing really wants to get going, if this thing really wants to take off, I'll probably get out in more shares at those tops if it can pull back to those areas, okay? So that's my idea for SMH. We did buy the highs, but we're gonna see what wants to come of it, okay? So we know we're at these NVIDIA tops as well, so we do expect a pullback, and there's that pullback for that. So we're gonna come back and we'll take a little peeky gander at how everything is working for that. But I do wanna see Apple because of this range bound, and look at Apple breaking out here, now coming back to test this top area. It went right up to 158.40. Now, oh my goodness gracious, we're gonna go ahead and get 5 in on Apple, because if this thing wants to continue to take, we want to use this as our risk, right? This 157 as our risk. Can it get me in this trade or not? So we're gonna see here, guys. We're gonna see. I do want to be in this because this looks like a very formidable breakout. This is a huge, you know what, I need to see the book maps because I feel like we're going to be on the wrong side of this. Look at this crazy area. Oh yeah, so it's bouncing. It's going to want to go to 158.52, and then 159 is its next area of liquidity. So back on this, I want to be a part of this. We want to get into this trade, small share size, and we want to take this up to 159 if we can. Okay, so we're going to see what comes of this as NVDA is pulling back. Now we are in Apple, AAPL. All right, so we're going to see what happens. If this thing comes back down and it breaks this 157, you know, we're going to want to be out of that. So that being said, that's way too big of a risk. So I'm going to go ahead and sell out of half of this here, just because I definitely don't want to, I don't want to be hurting on this thing, guys. I don't want this thing to pull this far back and me go, hey, what am I doing? What am I doing? You know, I can't hold out on this. So we're getting half out. We took a $1.50 loss to get half of that out, but that's a-okay. We're going to see where this thing wants to play out, okay? So I'm willing to take that 25 because I would like to see this back test. I'd like to see that get a little cray-cray, okay? So AAPL. We'll leave that up here on this right-hand side, and we'll run through the indices on this left-hand side. So I think I know what I'm going to do today. I think I do like what is happening. Everything is just taking off to the upside. Everything's looking crazy. Netflix looked like it had a little sell-off there, but it might be a nice buy spot. Microsoft, are we going to get this thing to come back down so I can get in? I'm not 100% sure. Amazon looks like it's headed back up. It looks like this is a great bounce area, back up to that $100 area. Meta is breaking down now. Kind of wish I hold that 5 shares, but hey, you know, you can't win them all, guys. You can't win them all. That's okay. We took a $1.25 loss because it didn't do what we wanted to in pre-market. Now look at NVDA. NVDA is at those highs. It does look like it's selling off at these highs. Now, we want NVIDIA to take off here. Why? Not that I'm expecting it to, but we want it to. Why do we want it to take off? Well, simply put, I am in SMH, which is going to cover us for all of our trades on this. That means AMD, NVIDIA, any of your big ON, you know, all of your big semiconductors, if they're going to do well, then SMH is going to do well. So we're playing the breakout on SMH, risking small. We're going to keep a close eye on SMH to see what wants to come of it. Now, Apple is doing a nice little pullback here. Let's bring this up on the 5 minutes so we can get a better idea of what it looks like. There we go. We're getting a nice little pullback here, and that's why we got out 25 shares instead of holding 50, because I'd be down over $8 right now, and I'd be very, very squeamish, okay? So we did get this pullback. We are starting to get this thing to buy up. So part of me does want to get 5 more shares, but instead, what I much rather do here is just hold on to these 25 shares. Let this thing go, because what happened yesterday? I was in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather hold on to 25, and then we'll give it that time. We'll give it that room, and we will see what exactly comes of this, okay? So we're going to give this time, and we will come back and reassess the situation, okay? So let's take a look at ELF. So ELF did have that breakout, big sell-off there at its peak. We're going to hold on to ELF. That's why we only have 5 shares, because I really want to see what ELF does here, okay? We're just going to keep an eye on it. And sometimes when you do this, guys, you do take small. I do take very, very small share size, and I just hold on to it for the day because it helps me become emotionally and mentally invested in this. When you're emotionally and mentally invested in this, you will actually keep a better eye on the ticker. You will start learning how it moves. And now that we're at these highs, now it's done all this proving to us to show us that yes, it is a leader, and now the market is starting to take off. Well, I want to keep my eye on this ELF with this cup. This is a beautiful cup straight out of the William O'Neill's book. Okay, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 2 week. Let me see. Most are 7 to 65 weeks. So this isn't really a textbook William O'Neill. This is just a quick cup and handle. So it's not textbook. Don't get it twisted on that one. So we're gonna keep an eye on ELF NVDA. Let's bring it back up over here. NVDA. Now look at that. That's a beautiful thing, guys. We could not come all the way back down to retest. It's already trying to push up higher from here. That's an amazing thing, guys. If you're not getting people selling out of this while it's up here, that's a very strong inclination for the stock. And now look at SMH is starting to take off here in this area as well. So we have 5 of SMH. We're going to see what happens on this breakout. If I can, and I can play this right, I'd love to hold a SMH for the longer term, meaning a long-term swing trade, okay? And look at that, NVIDIA breaking up higher. This is looking absolutely awesome for NVIDIA. I still want to see this breakout come back and retest this area because this is a double top from way back yonder, okay? Way back yonder, way back here in 216.22. All right, so we're going to catch up chat in just a few minutes. I just need to keep an eye on what's going on because if something takes off, if something really ends up happening here, then, I want to be a part of it. As Apple has that big pullback here, guys. Look at that wonderful pullback. That looks absolutely amazing for anybody still trying to work with this area. I do want to take a look at Apple on the book map still because I think it's still going to be that range-bound area now, guys. 158, 157, and we're back down here at this 157 area. So let's take a peek at the book maps to see what it is looking like. So this book maps, yeah, we're showing some liquidity at 157. If we zoom out, 157, it looks like we have a higher area of liquidity at 157.50, so it looks like it's trying to hold. But this 158.52 and then 159 is going to be your highest areas of liquidity. So 158.50, 159. So the 50-cent areas and the dollar areas are your obvious areas of liquidity. So keep that in mind, guys, when you look at these. That's what we're looking at, 50-cent area and the dollar area, okay? So right now we're in that 50-cent area, which is probably going to be an area of support. Now, so if it can hold this area, that might be where I want my next stop to be, just under that 157.50, because if it breaks through that liquidity, now that is going to become its resistance, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that right now for you. 157.47, 157.46. If we end up coming right here, I'll take my 25 shares and I will get out, okay? So we'll just call that right there, 157.47. So if it breaks 150, I want out of that trade. So that is that, and we'll take a small loss on that if it wants to happen. And let's go back to NVDA. So NVDA still chilling at the toppy tops right here, but it looks like it's starting to sell off. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get in short and get rid of my SMH. So we're going to take 25 shares short if it'll let me get in, because I want to play this range. And we're going to go to SMH. And Apple just got me out. SMH, I'm going to get out of this right now, just because I think we're going to see that sell-off that we talked about this morning. So there, we took a few bucks on we took 47 cents on SMH. We took a $19 loss on Apple. This thing might wick me out and then just head on lower, as NVIDIA might just trip me up and head on higher once it gets me in. So we are 25 shares short on NVIDIA, and right off the get, it's showing me its true colors. It wants to keep on heading higher, but we're going to hold on to this thing to really see what happens in this area. So right here, NVIDIA does start to sell off a little bit. We're up about $1.38 on it, and I think I'm just going to focus on this trade and in this range right now, because we are at these tops, and this might be a beautiful area for a sell-off. So Apple, are we going to see you shape up or not? I'm going to bring NVIDIA over here on the top right-hand side, and then we're going to go ahead and run through our indices on the left-hand side, and then we will catch up on chat, guys. So excuse me for not catching up on the chat, but we got a lot going on here, guys. First thing this morning, I want to make sure I'm on the right side of these trades before things get nutso, okay? So we got the SPY. It looks like it's running right into that resistance area that we talked about. We have IWM. It looks like it's starting to stutter step at 177, which is a little area of resistance there, but nothing too crazy. Let's go ahead and look at the Qs. QQQ looks like it was ramping up, but it reached a top. Let's zoom out on the 1 hour here. And these tops, yes, it made a double top here on that QQQ, and it looks like it found a little bit of selling off, but it's still trading at 308.37, so things are still looking pretty strong here, guys. You know, I don't, if NVIDIA wants to continue to hold this area and keep wanting to push up, that is going to look like a serious trade to the north side. So we want to see this thing break down, because if it doesn't break down, then I could be in some serious trouble. So let's take a look at ELF. I just want to see where that's at. Looks like that's still holding its area. SMH still holding. Apple, let's take a look at Apple. Apple's going back up from that area, so Apple tricked us, right? Apple went down, flushed me out of my trade, took a 20-buck loss, and then it took off without me. As NVIDIA looks like it keeps wanting to soak up in this area. It's making me a little nervous here, guys. I almost want to just exit this trade out because I'm getting a little too nervous it holding this area. I expected a flush. If you don't see what you expect, you know, and is this part of the game plan? Well, if I don't see it happen right away, I really don't like holding on to these things. But, you know we have sell-off in this top area, and what's going to hurt more? Me selling off for taking this $11, or this thing failing on me, doing its game plan, coming right down, say, to this area of liquidity down here at 258, and then me asking myself, you know, why did I get out? SMCI is now popping off, which is very, very good for the overall semiconductors, guys. With SMCI taking off, it's at its tops as well. So we have a lot of things happening here for the overall semiconductors. So maybe we look at SMH to see if the overall semiconductors, if they're all going to hold up, and then NVIDIA might want to hold up here too. We might want to actually exit this trade, just simply put, because everything is looking so dang strong, okay? So I think I'm going to give this some time. I'm going to go ahead and exit this trade now, guys. We'll take $25 on this, okay? And, well, $23.88, but I want to reassess everything, all my situations here, because I don't really, I don't feel comfortable. And if I don't feel comfortable, I'm just going to stop, sit back, relax. Now, we still have ELF. ELF, we're up about $1.35 on, and we only have 5 shares of ELF, guys, because I told you I want to see how it shapes up. I want to see how this shapes up. It is shaping up. I do like it so far. We have SMH, which is still holding out. It's still pushing up above. And let's look at AI. So AI is taking off. We're up about a cup of coffee. Well, actually, we're up more than that on there because this is a little silly, but we're in at $20.44 and it's at $22.17. So we're almost up 10 bucks on AI, and we're gonna see where that thing wants to go. Joshi, no, I didn't even say hi. Joshi, I'm getting to the chat right now. All right, Joshi, you take care. Thank you so much for stopping in, and I'm sorry I didn't get to the chat quick enough for you, but good morning, Joshi says to everyone. We'll go over INTC, we'll go over a little bit of everything today, and we'll see what is happening, okay? So let's go over the chat. INTC on this top right-hand side. We have INTC, and it looks like INTC is bouncing its head off that 200-day moving average. We even drew this liquidity out for you guys. It came up, it hit this top and this 200-day moving average and is selling off. So until this thing actually finds us a new base, or maybe it can hold this 27.75. If it holds this 27.75, this might be a nice area for a risk reward. It'll hold a new higher low here then, and then it'll take off to the north side. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And look at NVDA, there it goes, pulling back, doing exactly what we expected, but now getting wicked off on that bottom. So I want to give it a little bit more time before we start taking these trades. Now, next up, we have Dow Jones complete, given pending buy target at 32407. Now one more, 34446. Thank you for that, Joshi. Mama's here. Good morning. I only have an hour today, but excited. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're excited, and I honestly hope that you have a wonderful day, Mama. I need to call you today. I got a lot to talk to you about, yeah, I need an ear. I need an ear, Mama, and I know you always lend me an ear when it is necessary. So I'm gonna give you a call sometime after stream. I got a lot going on, but I need to talk to you. Next up, we have Apple given target. Thank you, Joshi, for that. But this may take time, so good hold as long as it's above 153. Yeah, so if we do look, I do want to look at Apple again. Let's take a look at it. APPL. Let's take a look at Apple. Now we know it's at its all-time. It's bad if you spell Apple the right way, right? Are you even a real trader if you don't spell Apple the right way? So we got Apple up here at 157.68. Joshi is given a target of 165, but this may take time. Good hold as long as it's above 153. So yeah, I guess I can agree with that. Obviously, anything above this area is going to be good. But if you're not in this to win it already, we're at its all-time highs. So be really careful trading in this area. There's a ton of liquidity here, and you know you really can get hurt. You really can get hurt in this area. So just be careful in that area. Granny Randy says, good morning, Tootsies. Good morning, Granny Randy. I hope you were able to see the baby. We got the baby on chat just a little bit ago. He busted in this door and is like, Dad, I want to be on stream. So it was pretty cool. It looks like Apple is back down to that 157.50 area, and it's still wanting to get soaked up in that area. So how much fight does this actually have? I kind of want to bring up AAPL on this, but I feel like I'm going to miss something, guys. I really do feel like I'm going to miss a trade or something. So I think I need to stay focused for a little bit longer here. This 157.50 is an area for a buy, it looks like. But these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just looking at a bunch of charts, a lot of squiggly lines and bubbles. And there we go. We're starting to see some sell-off now, just breaking below that 150 area. Let's go ahead and get back on the charts here. Yeah, that 150 area just broke, so unless it gets back above that area, I think I want to be a part of it. But now we know this 157 does have a lot of bids down there, so like I said, guys, this range trading can be pretty difficult at times. So let me bring up Tesla. Did Uncle Tesla come back down to retest yet? No, Uncle Tesla is looking strong right now, pushed up to that 190 area. If you guys remember what I said about that 190 area, I need to get up on the hourly. This could be a great trade if I can do this quick enough. So right here in this 190 area, this is going to be its area of resistance, guys. So I do like this for a short sale trade. Maybe not for a long time, but just for a good time. So we're going to watch this and see what we can do. We're at 190.50 and its top at 191.50. That's $1 risk. So maybe we take a $10 trade on this. So we're going to go ahead and join the ask and see if that top wants to hold, because I know that 190, this 190 area is an area to sell off. So we have that set. We're looking for the short now in NVDA. We want to go back down to retest this 185 area. That is my goal. Can I actually hold out for one of my goals? Well, we're going to see that today, so stick with me. Now, Apple breaking down right down to that 156.97 area and then got bought right back up. So maybe we use that for 25-cent risk. You know, maybe we use that as the 25-cent risk and we buy it up down here. and we see what we want to come of it. So we're going to go ahead and get this in at 157.23. I think we can even get it for a better price, but we're going to try and get it in here right now because we know that 157 is a solid area. We've seen it on book maps. We've seen that this 157 area is strong, guys. Look at this, 157.02. I mean, there's still people now. Look, they're starting to get bids up underneath this at 157.20, and that's me. I'm in there too. You know, that's partially me in there. So, well, hopefully we can see this thing actually get me in and then hold this out. Let's go ahead, wick on down, get me in. I'm fine with that. And then we'll use this 157 area as our stop. So we're going to see, there we go, we're in. We're going to see if this thing wants to hold that area and see if that liquidity is some serious deal, something we can seriously deal with. So now Tesla looks like it's trying to get above that area, but it's not getting above that area. It looks like it is doing its absolute best to sell off in that area. Every time we get up there, we start wicking. But we're only on a 5-minute on this. We're going to keep an eye, but we have our stop set. If you know your risk, then you can feel pretty comfortable in the trade as long as you know what you're risking and you're willing to risk it. So we are in this Apple trade to the north side at 25 shares and join again after the approximate 30 minutes. All right, we'll see you back, Joshi. Thank you so much for stopping in. Much appreciated, and I love saying your name. Yoshi, Joshi. So let's go ahead. I want to look at UNC just to see if it's still holding that area. Not a lot of liquidity on UNCY, but it is holding that area. So let me bring up NVDA, and then I also want to run through everything here. So NVDA back up to that 162 area, and it looks like it's selling off again in that area. So we're seeing a lot of selling off. At least we're seeing a lot of areas of resistance like we talked about. Now, Tesla just got me out. So Tesla is looking strong in this area, and I'm not going to fight it now, guys. We took a $7.50 loss on that trade. That's A-okay. We're not going to fight this thing. We need to know where our levels are. So my next level is 198 on this thing. Is it going to make up to 198? I'm not sure about that, but I'm not going to fight. We learned from yesterday, right? So we know we're in an area that is trying to sell off, but our next area is going to be this 196. So we're going to keep an eye on that. As Apple is still fighting this area, still fighting in this 157 area. And we're going to see, can it hold? Well, it looks like it is. It looks like we just caught a very nice bid there off of that, and it looks like it's trying to head higher now. So anytime it gets even close to this liquidity area of 157, it looks like it's just getting bought up. So can the liquidity follow it up, or are we going to flush out and touch that 157 again? That would be very interesting to see, but that's a big buy, a big wick right there. It almost makes me want to add into this trade, but I'm not going to add into this trade because that will get me into trouble. So we're going to go ahead and just leave the 25 in there, and we're going to see what we want to do. We're up about $3 on this trade so far, as Tesla still wanting to push higher. Good for you, Tesla. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now let's run through the indices really quick just to see where things are at. So AAPL on the top right hand side, that's the trade I'm in. We're up about 3 something in it, as SPY just wants to hold up there. It wants to do its absolute best to hold in this area, but it looks like we're seeing a lot of selling off, so we're going to see what comes of that. Now we have IWM. IWM is starting to drop down as the QQQs looks like it is, if my charts will load, goodness, it was going crazy there for an absolute second. So 308.25 on the QQQs, looking very strong here still, trying to hold out in these areas. Let me move out to this hourly to really get an understanding. So the QQQs here, guys, I need to move out to the 4 hours on this. I got a lot of crap drawn on this. So the QQQs look like they're holding out. They're holding out very well in this area. I still think we can come back and retest sometime today. If that wants to happen, we'll be a part of it, you know. As Apple now trading at 157.44. We're up about $6 so far on this trade. We're going to see if we can keep making money on it. As Netflix looks like it is coming back and retesting this area. So that's a nice little retest area for Netflix. We know we wanted to see this thing retest, and now that it is retesting, I think we can go ahead and buy this thing up. So we got 300 and we'll say 300, and it's at 302. So what am I willing to risk? I'm willing to risk, let's say $10 on this area. What do you think, guys? 10 bucks sound good? Well, it's my trade, not yours, so make sure you're risking what you are comfortable with risking. So we're just going to take a small $5 share size on this, and we want to get in. Let me in. We're going to try and get into this, and then we'll set our stop loss for this base down here, and if we can, we'll hold on to this for a longer term, okay? So will it get me in? We'll see. We'll put Netflix up on here. We got AAPL. We have Netflix, Enflix. We are now in small share size for Enflix. And if this thing wants to stop us out, it's going to down here at this $300 area. Alrighty, so there we go for Netflix. So now we have a couple of different trades on, guys. This looks really, really good. So Apple is holding that area. Can we get above 158? Because I personally, and you know, I say this all the time, guys. I say this all the time, and I would love for somebody to reach through here and just smack me around a little bit. I want to hold for the longer expected move. Now, if we can actually break out here on Apple, if we can actually do that, that would be amazing. Now, I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting some range-bound trading for Apple simply because of the FOMC meeting that's going to be happening tomorrow. But if it wants to hold and we can get out, let's say, half of our shares, and I leave the other half in to run, we can start growing a little account down here, like with ELF, you know, with Apple, with Netflix, and maybe we keep adding little bits into this YouTube account so that way we can show how longer term investing works, how swing trading works. But as you guys know, as long as we're under the 200-day moving average, I don't really care so much about what is going on in the overall market for the longs. But we are over that 200-day moving average, and we are trying to hold up here. So that looks really, really good for the overall market, guys. If you want to see the market do well, do strong, you know I'm a bear with bull horns, guys. I love to swipe down. I love to short. I love to take short trades, and that's kind of how I started, actually, is short trading. But I'm a bear with bull horns. I want to keep these things chucks. I want to see your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, your retirements, your investing funds. I want to see those go up. So I'm always going to be bullish for the overall market, but I'm always going to be ready to put them bear paws on and swipe to the south side. So it looks like this coffee pot back here is yelling at me, which we still have to make our money back on that coffee pot. Let's go check out Walmart. What is it, WMT for Walmart? Let's go look at Walmart. So we need to make 25 bucks on Walmart, and it's bouncing off of this 200-day moving average, but I'm not seeing too much of a trade here. Maybe, you know, but I want to make that 25 bucks because New Vision brought up that I should make my money back from Walmart, that I had to spend the 25 bucks on that coffee pot, and I really like that idea. I think that's a really fun idea. But the SPY, guys, I don't trust the SPY in this area, not one bit. So keep that in mind, guys. SPY in this area, you know, it's looking good. It's looking strong. It's holding that VWAP, but I personally just think that SPY is going to end up having some issues here. So keep that in mind. You don't want to be buying these highs here, guys. And look at this, Apple still just kind of trying to find its way here. It looks like we're having some battles here. Let me go ahead and bring up the book maps just to see what we got going on. So, yeah, just between this 157 and this 158, it's just trading right here in the middle. So either way, whatever way it wants to go, I'm going to defend this area, and I'm going to sell out on this area at least half of my shares. All right, so I want to play these bounces, play this range, and see what comes of it. So I'm in 25 shares to the long side. I want to sell out at 158. I'm not the best at making bracket orders right now, so we're just going to leave this open, and we're going to wait until we hit our areas. Stewie, if you're still listening, I would love to go over how to do that, how to make bracket orders, because I've never really used bracket orders in Thinkorswim. I've only used FRC is moving. So let's take a look at FRC, guys. Now, we talked about FRC this morning. We know it is a bank stock. Be very careful on these pushes, because if it gets up into this $20 area, I've already talked to you about it. We were using that $20 area as a base to say, hey, this might be a nice area of risk for the north side unless it breaks. Right? Well, it broke. So now what do I look at FRC? Well, I look at FRC as resistance now, guys. So if this thing wants to push all the way back up to 20 and get everybody all excited, I can almost guarantee that this 20 is going to at least show us a little something, something. What do I mean by something, something? It means when it comes up here, I'm not saying it's going to just fail. I'm not saying it's going to just take off to the north side. I'm saying we're going to see something happen here. This is going to act as some sort of resistance in this area. And if it does that, if it's going to act as resistance, then we might be able to make a little money off of it. So B. Stewie, very good point. Thank you for bringing that up. And I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and set my alert. You know, B. Stewie, I'll tell you this, B. Stewie. since you have started, you started by showing me some really crap tickers, and now you're to the point, dude, where you are constantly feeding me very, very good tickers, good news, good everything, and I just absolutely appreciate all of that. So now we have Apple. It's getting me a little disturbing because we are at this 157.80, okay, and this 157.80 right here is its like quadruple top, right? The only time we blew through this was through market open. We blew through it and then sold off hard. So I'm expecting this might be the possible new area. But if I move in on book maps, we can see this 158.80 is selling off here. We do see liquidity here, right? So we keep seeing it come up in here and then sell off, come up in here and sell off. So is it going to eat through this 157.80? If it does, we're going to get a quick move up to the 158, and then we're going to see it want to push higher. But it looks like we're starting to see more and more liquidity build on this 157.80. Maybe I cut my gains in this area just because we're starting to see some more sell-off in this area. So, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things that's hard to do. You know, it's hard to do because 158 is my goal, but when you start seeing all these quadruple tops and lots of wicking, it makes me want to get out of this. So, you know, maybe we hold out for the bigger expected move and we see if it can get through this, but that 158 just keeps, 157.80 just keeps building and building and building. But that could be 158.80 buy too. So if it gets up into that area and it pushes through, it might reverse and then head ever loving higher. So 158, here we come. We will see because I am going to hold. And then the next area is that 159, 158.50, 158. Here it comes, guys. Here it comes to 158, and I'm going to go ahead and sell out right now. Boom. We made it to our target, 157. 157.90. Did it not? Oh, that's because I have this bid here. All right, so here we are, and I'm going to sell out for a nice little $17 win right there. So now we have made our money back on Apple. That's how you do it, boys. That is how you do it right there, baby. So we're making money. We're making money. Let's take a look at everything else to see how it's going. So we have Tesla over here on the right-hand side. Tesla's still pushing up higher. It's trading at 192.65, guys. That's why we have stop losses right there. You're seeing it here first, why we use stop losses. The whole reason why we use stop losses is because, boom, if it wants to break up higher, we're going to take a small loss, so that way when we take a win, it's a big win, okay? So I'm going to bring up book maps back up here. We see this 158 is a very high level of short interest. Well, maybe not short interest, but a high level of liquidity. So if we have a high level of liquidity and it breaks through this, we know that we're probably going to at least see 25-cent move. But if we don't break through this and we don't find support, we're going to come all the way back down to this 157 area. So part of me wants to take a short on this using that 158 as defense. So let me go ahead and look back at these charts one more time, because it looks like 157.88 is building up some area of resistance right there. So we use this, we go ahead, we try and get this in. Snap. Okay, so Snap just, hang on one sec. There's a lot going on now, guys. There's a lot going on. We're going to cancel that order. Let's take a look at Snap. Snap, look at that beautiful breakout to the north side. And Alex, good morning, Alex. Good to see you. Good to see you. Mama, we're going to get to your question in just a second. But Snap has this beautiful breakout, and this breakout is right into resistance. Let me draw this resistance for you guys right now, because I might want to take a tasty little short on this. So here's its resistance, guys. It ran right into this, but can it hold out? If it can hold out in this area, that's going to be great for Snap, but I think we're going to see at least a little selling off action in this area as Tesla's starting to wick off on the top. How much can Tesla push before it starts to pull back down? So Tesla's right up into this area. Man, it looks like a tasty little short right there. Makes me want to be a part of that short, but I need to run through the indices, and then I will definitely catch up on chat. So sorry, guys, if I'm a little late on that. We're 30 minutes into the day, and I want to make sure that we are doing what we need to be doing, guys. Goodness. Now we're getting some selling off on Tesla at 191.95, and we have the SPY. We're bringing this desk up. Desk is coming up. Rise up with me, ladies and gentlemen. Bring the desks up. Rise up and let us stand for the trading day, because it is 10 o'clock. It is the most prime area to take shorts, to take longs, to wear shorts on your head. Whatever you got to do, just don't wind up dead. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining me, I'm Dave. This is LoFiTrader. Go ahead and look at my screen really quick. I just want to show you guys a little something before we go back over the chat, because we have a lot going on, and I need to show you guys this. This is our YouTube, and if you hit this live button, that's going to bring you to the most recent area on the page. Then I have a question for you. There's only 13 votes. I'm just going to say, will the SPY end green today? I'm saying no. You might be saying yes, but either way, say hello in the chat and the comment. There's only 3 things I ask of you guys, and that's like, subscribe, and make sure you're here for that pre-market prep. So Alex Heiser, you're a little late for that pre-market prep, but you know I love your support. So thank you guys so much for being here. Absolutely much appreciated. Let me get through this really quick, and then we're going to catch up on the chat. So the IWM is still pushing higher, but we are in an area of resistance. Anytime we've been in this area for the IWM, it has sold off. So will it hold new higher lows? Well, we will see. And it looks like that Tesla, this might be the spot right here to try and get in for a nice little short, just because we're seeing wick offs on the top. But what do I want to see? Let me exit this trade. Let me zoom out on the hourly to make sure this is what I want to do. Why? Well, because I'm learning from yesterday's shorts on Apple. Apple did not have what we wanted. Now we're seeing, look at this, these bottoms here, bottom 1, 2, we know there's resistance here. How long will this be resistance? Well, we're going to join the ask. We're going to try and get 10 shares short on this, and then if it doesn't want to, it'll break us out on this top. But if not, we're going to play it back down to the area that I wanted to get in at Tesla. If Tesla wants to keep heading higher from here, that's a-okay. We're going to let Tesla do its thing. We can't fight this market. But if Tesla wants to head higher, it will stop us out at these tops for a small loss, guys, a very small loss, maybe $5 to $10. But if it wants to come all the way back down here and stop us out, we might be up 20 or 30 bucks. So good risk reward. So I'm going to take the trade, as the Qs do look like they are topping right here and starting to pull back a little bit. Now Microsoft, goodness gracious, M-Soft, let's take a peeky gander. You know it. You better believe it, baby. It's back down here at this area of support. So I do like this area. I'm going to buy 25 to try and defend this area. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and we are short on Tesla. We are trying to get long on Microsoft, and we're going to see what this wants to do. So we'll look at this beautiful panic. This beautiful panic down here. Come on, I want in on this, baby. We're going to try and get in on this as soon as we possibly can. There we go. We got 25 in. That's all I want. We're going to hold on to this trade. Now, this is what we were doing here in pre-market prep. Okay, guys, we had these levels marked. We had these lines drawn out for you. So this thing held very, very well yesterday in this area. So that's why I have it marked out, because it's most area of liquidity that was sold yesterday. So if it held out all day yesterday, I'm expecting it to hold out again today. So here we go. If this thing were to fail, I'm going to be out as quick as I can, but we have 25 shares. We're taking in small, and we're going to see what it wants to do here. So it's starting to get some soaking. I like to see this huge rush down here, this huge base that it formed down here at the bottom, because it's also its tops from previous. It's its highest level of liquidity traded from its tops before. So I have much conviction, mucho convicciero in Microsoft to try and at least head higher back up to this 276. Now, if it doesn't want to do that and it wants to head lower, then that's a-okay. That's what we're going to see happen for Microsoft. But I am going to try and play this trade to the north side for now. So I like this area. I like where it's trying to hold. If it wants to break down even lower than this area, well, what am I going to, this 272 is going to be its area of support. So if it breaks 272 and we get down to 271.95, then I'll probably want to be out of this trade. So I'm just going to kind of linger around on this trade to see what it wants to do in this area. So I don't like being long in one trade and short in another when they're both tech, right? Because usually we see all the tech moving kind of in the same way, where if you see Microsoft going up, you usually see Tesla, you usually see Amazon going up. So now we have a trade in M-Soft, we have a trade in Netflix. Let's see how Netflix is doing, guys. Netflix is still hanging out at these bottoms, so if it breaks down from here, it's going to be more of a short than it is a long. That's why we're defending this area. We're up about 10 cents on Netflix. Yes, I know. You can't even afford a cup of creamer with that, but that's okay. Not even a cup, you know what I mean? So we're going to keep a little bit of eye on everything, as Apple is still just trading sideways. Let's look at ELF. Still, we're down about 88 cents in that. AI still holding out at those highs. We're up about 10 bucks in that. So the SPY is seeing a little bit of that selling off, as Microsoft is still wicking off on that bottom. It's still holding that base. It almost makes me want to add into this trade. I almost want to add into this trade just because of how well this is holding, how well it's soaking, how well it's showing me that, hey, there is proof of concept on Microsoft at these bottoms. But because I don't want to get too squeamish if it breaks down this area, I don't want to have to move my stop up. So I'm going to leave it at 25 25 shares long right here at this base. We're in at 272.31 for our Microsoft trade. So we're going to see what happens with that, but we want to make sure we keep an eye on everything, guys, because we know we're in quite a few things. So it looks like ELF is starting to break down. We are at these tops for ELF, so that's why I only took 5 shares, guys, because I want to see ELF play around, mess around before it breaks out higher. But I am emotionally invested and now invested with my own money. My own hard-earned money is in here. So let me catch up on chat, guys, because I have not looked at it in a while, and I think I feel comfortable with the trades that I'm in right now, and I need to start making sure that I am comfortable in the trades that I am at all times. So here we go, guys. Let's check up on chat. Let me take a sip. This one is for you, Ginger. Mama. Mama! This one's for you, not for me. That's some good coffee. I need to warm it up a little bit. Let's give us a little pour. I think I've earned it. Right here. There we go. A little pour, a little sip shawana. Looking good, looking gracious, bodacious. All right. Now let's catch up on chat, guys. What is the chickadee chat saying? Oh, we're in Tesla too. Almost forgot we're in a Tesla short. I don't really care for this Tesla short now, you know, with Microsoft moving up, to be very, very honest. But I've already made the trade, so, you know. All right, catching up on the chat. Let's see. Absolutely, son. Always here for you, Ma. I know you are. You always are, especially in difficult times. It's always nice to be able to give you a call. So, you know, it ain't Mother's Day, but shout out to you, Mama. Question, you're always saying things like a couple dollars and gained a couple dollars. Do you do all of this work for just a couple of dollars? Well, yeah, you know, I do all this work for a couple of dollars because those couple of dollar ads, they all add up. So, for example, yesterday we were up a couple of bucks, we were down a couple of bucks, we were up a couple of bucks. Well, in the end of the day, we were up 60 bucks. So what $60 means to you is relative, right? $60 to me every single day, well, that's awesome. You know, you do 5 times 5 is 25, that's $250 a week, right? And that's just me sitting here having fun, right? Now that's also fractal. What do I mean by fractal? That means you can expand that $60. Just keep adding zeros, right? But see, the thing is, when you're learning to trade, you don't want to go all in. You want to slowly bring up your risk. So I used to risk, you know, $2 or $3. Now I'm risking $5 or $10, and sometimes I risk $25 to $30 depending on the trade, right? So yes, I am losing little bits of money here and there, but the cool thing about it is, guys, is that they all add up. Your losers will add up too. So I could have a $60 loss day. Now, I haven't got to see one of those in a while now. I've been very, very nice. It's been very, very nice in the overall market to actually see me being consistent, constantly being green consistently. I've only had one bad day in the past week, so things are looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the overall with how everything's working. But yeah, it's only a few dollars here or there that I'm making, and I also don't want to broadcast to anybody. I don't want anybody getting excited, because if somebody watches me take 100 shares of something, and usually if I do take 100 shares of something, I don't say it because I don't want people following me in these trades, because they can really hurt you, right? So if I'm only taking 10 or 20 shares and somebody does, which I don't recommend, following my trade, then I know if they oversize and they say, hey, I lost so much money, and they get mad at me, I say, well, I only took 5 or 6 shares, you know, like, so I'm protecting myself, and I'm trying to protect the community as well when it comes to taking smaller share size. Now, what I do outside of the stream, sometimes I might risk more, sometimes I won't, but I try to not trade after the stream. Not saying that I don't, because yesterday I seen an awesome breakout on Apple and I decided to take it. But a lot of times the after trading will get me hurt because I'm over trading. Okay, so keep that in mind. I don't want to over trade ever, but when I do risk, it's always small. When I do risk, I try to get a higher risk than reward. So I'm going to go ahead and set my stop now for Apple, because we are up about $20 on Apple, and then it just came right back down to test this area at 272. So we're going to make sure that this 272 wants to hold, and it wants to hold true. If not, it's going to get me out for a very, very small loss, guys. And that is exactly what I'm saying. Like, we were risking, what we're risking is probably a good $5 or $6 to try and earn 30 to 100, okay? So that's why we're playing this risk reward game. That's why we will always risk small while we try to gain large, okay? So same thing with right here for Tesla. This looked like a fail spot for me. We started seeing some wicks off on that 5 minute. We know that 190 is a psychological area, and it pushed through that on liquidity, so we're seeing that top. So Microsoft, I am out of Microsoft now. We did take a $5 loss on Microsoft, but that's a-okay. We want to make sure that we do take those small losses and we try to achieve those bigger gains. So is Microsoft going to hold here? I still would like to see it hold. I'm still an advocate for Microsoft. Now, if the overall market can turn around, I think Microsoft would be a good buy here. But like I said, with the overall market doing its thing and coming down, it's going to need to find some support down here. So, you know, my technical analysis this morning is coming into fruition. I didn't expect this kind of push. I kind of expected a sell-off in the morning, but you know, that's okay. That's part of trading. Sometimes you have to give it a little bit more time than anticipated. Now, Netflix is bouncing off this low, but it's still running into its resistance of this upward trend line. So do I take my $5 and get out of here because this thing might break, or do I try and hold and wait for the overall market to find a bottom to turn around? I think we will see. Pedro, what's going on? Tricity, good to see you in here. Sup, he says. Well, supper, baby. That's what's going on, because we are trying to make enough money so we can eat dinner tonight. Good morning, brother. Good to see you. Nice guy says, hey, how can you keep on trading? Isn't limited to three-day trading? No, that's the PDT rule. So if you're under a PDT rule, that means you have an account that's under $25,000. But if you get an account that's over that $25,000, then you can trade as much as you want, and you can have a margin account. So that's how I can keep trading. That's why I can get in and out, is just because I have an account that's over PDT, meaning I can take as many trades as I want to, and sometimes that's a good thing. And as some people know, as Blacktricity knows, sometimes that's a bad thing too, right? Keep that in mind, guys. Being over PDT and having the capability to trade as much as you want could be, you know, a gambler's way to being locked into a casino, right? You can really upset your account if you don't know what you're doing. So that's why they put that PDT out there, is to try and yes, nice guy, we're up over 25K. Yeah, if you're up over 25K, you can actually ask to be taken off that PDT. I think they automatically do it. I don't know, it's been a while since I've had to switch it, but yeah, we're up over PDT on this account. We had to do it for the YouTube because you guys know that when you're up over that PDT, it can be a pretty scary time. The last time, so Tricity actually, he remembers when I was in duality trading, when I was just getting started years ago. I remember I was like, hey guys, you know, I was only into it like a year and a half, and I was like, guys, I'm gonna get my money in there, and I'm gonna get above PDT. And everybody in the chat, they all tried to warn me. They're like, hey dude, don't do that. Don't put yourself over PDT. There's no reason to. You know, there's no point in actually doing that. You're gonna hurt yourself. And sure enough, when I put 25K in there after my first year and a half of trading, I lost my butt. And then from there, I decided to go back on PDT because I wanted to make sure that I knew how to trade and what I was doing. So now that I'm back to where I am at, I'm a consistently profitable trader week over week, right? And when you have that and you feel comfortable and you feel like you're able to actually be disciplined, that is when we're going to bring our account over that 25K. So that's exactly what we have done here. So, okay, got it, nice guy says. Good. Granny Randy's always got my back. And better start under to learn to trade only your setup and work your way up to 25K. Pedro, I'm going to read what Pedro said again. Pay attention, guys. This is about the PDT rule. It is better to start under to learn to trade only your setup and work your way up to 25K. Starting at 25K, you'll trade everything all the time if you're undisciplined. And that is so true. You cannot, he just took every word right there, and I almost want to read it again, guys. if you don't know what you're doing, and trust me, if you think you know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing, okay? If you're getting offended because I'm saying you don't know what you're doing, well, you don't know what you're doing, okay? Trading is extremely hard. Every time that I have thought that I understood, I knew what I was doing in trading, the market would smack me right across the face and say, no, 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 no. You go take yourself a nice little nap and we'll take your money. And that is what's going to happen to you for years and years and years until finally you stop caring about making money. And then next thing you know, you're making $5, $10 here or there. You're making $6, $8, $10 here or there. Next thing you know, at the end of the day, you're up 30 bucks. Hey, I want to do that again, right? So each day you come out here and you be consistent, be profitable. Then once you have a grade A setup and you know how to play these resistance, you know how to play support and demand, or whatever your edge is, mine being risk management first and foremost, that is how we extrapolate money from the market. That's how we make that money. So thank you so much, Pedro, for coming in here and giving us the excerpt on how to trade using PDT. You hate they're limited. Yeah, it does suck that they're limited, but trust me, man. You know, I would prefer adding 25K to allow any trades. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice having that, but at the same time, it can really, really hurt you. So just keep that in mind, guys. Be safe out there. We want everybody to be safe during their trading journey. And I always want to say, if you feel like you ready and you're willing to make a ton of money, and you're like, let's get in there. I want to be a day trader. I want to make all this money. Well, that's a bad attitude. It's a bad attitude to have. You don't want to come in here and try and make money, because that's how you lose money. And you know, we joke around about trying to earn our money back from trying that coffee pot from Walmart and stuff. But yes, absolutely. You know what? I'm just gonna say it, B. Stewie. You're a loser. Unless you're learning. You are a loser unless you're learning, and I will always stand by that when I say that, guys. You are a loser unless you're learning, and that's why we try to learn every single day. What did I learn yesterday? Well, one of my mentors, I talked to him over the phone, I shot him my P&L, and the first thing he said was, you took 25 trades, dude? You took 25 trades? That hurt. I needed to learn from that, and I did learn from that. So what did I learn from Apple? Well, I put it into fruition today. I learned on Apple not to fight it up on its way up, right, guys? So what am I trying to do? Oh my gosh. Need to learn how to spell Apple first. It's with 2 A's. I need to go back to school, learn to spell it with 2 A's. Now look at Apple right here. Look at all these wicks. This looks absolutely beautiful. Defending this 150 or this 157 area. You know, it makes me want back into this thing. And I'm going to get into this thing because I want to defend that 157 area. So we're going to try and get into that area, and we're going to continue to short this trade. Actually, Tesla looks like it's starting to bounce off VWAP here. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of Uncle Tesla, because Uncle Tesla looks like it's trying to bounce off this VWAP area. Apple looks like it's trying to hold this base here. I'm going to give Apple a little bit more time. I'm not going to go too crazy on this. So we're down about $1.16 on Tesla. You see that? Down $1.16 on Tesla. Let's look at Apple. We're down about $2.18. And you guys see here? See how it could add up, right? And that's what happens. It could easily add up. Is Microsoft still failing? Good thing we're not trying to cherry pick that bottom. Netflix, we're up about $10 on here. You know, if nothing else wants to head up from here, Netflix is going to be another failure. So part of me wants to just take half of this, take $5 and lock that in, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to hold on. We're going to wait. ELF just kind of trading sideways here. It is below that breakout area. And AI, let's take a look at AI. You know, I think a lot of people are sleeping on AI. And look at that. It came right up into that area of liquidity. Yes, I have this line drawn. It's not magic, guys. When it comes up to these areas that I have drawn, it's because they are areas of liquidity. They're either double tops or areas that people are going to be watching. Now, if AI wants to hold in this area, okay, pushing up on volume and pulling back on lighter volume, then this might be a nice little area to take a trade on. So maybe we add 5 more into this, right? So I'll just go ahead and join the bid. We'll add in 5 more on this AI trade if it wants to get me in. There we are. We're in on AI if it wants to continue to hold. If not, you know, our break-even area is probably going to be around this 21.25 now, because we just added in half more of those shares. So here's Apple. Looks like it's still trying to play around in this area. I do like to see the book maps on Apple now. This is, wow, look at 158, guys. Stu, if you're still listening, you need to take a look at 158. At 158.52 is even crazier. We have amazing amounts of liquidity up here at this 158, guys. So I think, you know, even if we can come back and test 157, I want to be a huge part of this. So 157, I'm just going to go ahead and go on my Apple. Let's bring up Apple, and right here at 157, there is so much stinking liquidity here. You know, a part of me wants to put up, you know, like 100 shares at that 157, but I really think it's going to come down here and get more shares bought up and then head up to that 158. That's crazy amount of liquidity up there at 158. But before it can go up to 158, I think it wants to come back down to this 157 again. So if we can get in at 157 and hold that, that's not going to be for a long time, guys. It's going to be for a good time. So if it can get in here, if it can touch this area again, which I mean, I understand it wanting to get down there to test because of all the liquidity, but I just don't see how it's going to be able to with everybody's sights on this thing. You know, everybody's sights on this thing. So we got to stay true to it because that's the play, guys. That is the play. That 157 area is the play. If we can get bought up in that area, we're going to take that to 158 and try to make ourselves a pretty little penny. Okay, we talked about it this morning. That's exactly what I want to see. And if it can get us in, we will take it. So let's go back and take a look at Tesla. Good old Uncle Tesla. Did it shake me out? No. Yes, it did. It shook me out. It was playing above that. Every day I'll be here. Every single day learning, guys. Every single day I'll be here learning. So it looks like Microsoft is now down into that area of liquidity where it traded yesterday. This looks like a good spot. Not trying to cherry pick it. We're going to see what comes of it. So a lot of things just kind of trading sideways. And we called this, guys. We called this in pre-market. We said, hey, we might see nothing but sideways action today simply because the FOMC meeting is tomorrow. And if you guys don't know, now you know. The FOMC meeting, the Fed rate hike decision is tomorrow. Pay attention, guys. You're going to want to be a part of this. I'm going to be here all stinking day tomorrow from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. And the rate hike decision is at 2 o'clock. It's going to be our biggest day on stream, and I want you to be a part of it, okay? I want to be here for you, and I want you to be here for me. So make sure you mark your calendars and make sure you hop in here and say hi at least some point during the day. Come in here and say hi to me because we know you're part of this crew. And if you know I'm going to be here all day, all you got to do is hop on your phone and say hi. So Tesla, pending sell target at 163.25. Let's take a look at Tesla for our boy Joshi. Joshi, yeah. Sell target at 160, pending sell target at 163.25. We're up here in the 190s right now. So are we talking about the same ticker, Joshi? You know, 163. Yeah, I mean, that's its base. That's where it would break. Angelina, nice December Smith. Thanks for your suggestions. You're absolutely welcome, Angelina. I'm glad to see you in here. That's an awfully long name, but Angelina Nice December Smith. I like it. I like it. And I like seeing that dog pop in there. That husky is absolutely beautiful. So good morning, guys. This one here, this little sip is going to be for Pedro. Pedro, this one's for you, not for me. I hope you're enjoying your day as much as I am enjoying mine. Yeah, so this apple, I mean, I want to be a part of this apple. I really do. It's just kind of chopping. So if it wants to get me in at 157, I'll take it. But other than that, you know, I'm not going to mess with this thing. Hit me on 157, get a huge wick up, and I will be happy and hopefully alerted because if it does it without me. Oh, and look at Microsoft now breaking down in this area. Goodness. You know, we want to see this hold. If Microsoft cannot hold this area, it's going to be really bad news bears for this. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get in 25 right here at this base because this is like the lowest you could buy this. And if it wants to break down from here, I don't want any part of this. So we're in on this, and I'm just going to be really hawking this Microsoft area because if it breaks down from here, then it is a no-go. I don't know where the heck Microsoft's going to go if it wants to head any lower than this. So I'd like to see it base out here. I'd like to see it hold here. And if it breaks down from this area, then I don't want any part of it, right? So we're up about $4.12 already on this trade, grabbing this base here. And now it looks like Apple's trying to do the same thing. All these wicking off on this bottom makes me want to get in at 157.35 using 157 as my risk. This looks really good here, guys. I'm going to try and get 25 on this too and see if it'll allow me in because I like this risk. I like this using 156 as risk, 156.98. So we'll be like around $10 or $15 risk on this if it can get me in. You know, it might not get me in. This thing might just this might take off without me, go back up to 158, but we shall see. So we're trying to get in here at 157.35. We're going to see if this thing is strong enough to do so. If not, you know, it's a-okay. So FRC, yeah, okay, FRC, very nice. We will look at FRC in just a second. We got Microsoft. Am I still in Tesla? No, I got out of Tesla because of the wicking. And let's see, Microsoft, I'm in Microsoft. Only if it holds that area, so we're going to use that base now as its stopping point, guys. So this is what I mean, guys. I'm risking. All right, now we're in Apple, so I want to use this risk on Apple. Let's see, this 156.99. So if it hits this, definitely want to be out of here because we have all that overhead liquidity above me to help defend. And then same thing with Microsoft. If Microsoft wants to break down this area, then I don't want any part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and set my stop loss here for that. So we're going to expect to take small stop losses, guys. I expect to lose about 80% of the time. Well, no, 75% of the time I expect to lose because that other 25, that other 35%-ish, that's where I make my money, right? That's where I make my money. Can we go into NVIDIA? We absolutely can go into NVIDIA. So I have my stop losses set. We're going to see what comes of this. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. So we're up about 23 bucks on the day for NVIDIA because we took this short sale trade at this top. If we look at NVIDIA, we have this base. The reason why this red mark is right here is because if we go back on NVIDIA, back here on two different days, 2/9 and 2/16, we have an area of support or an area of resistance that NVIDIA is trying to get through. Now it came back down and tested this area of liquidity at this base, which is a great area for a test if you want to try a long, because this would be your risk right here. Right where it bounced actually at 259, okay? And if you can risk that 259 and hold on to this thing, you might be able to get a nice little breakout. But keep in mind with the FOMC meeting happening tomorrow, guys, I'm not going too crazy on my trading. I'm not going to get in a ton of things just because, simply put, the FOMC meeting is tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and I think we're going to see a lot of range trading until the big players know what is going to happen tomorrow, okay? So we're seeing some sideways action with Apple right up here at its tops. We're seeing some sideways action at NVIDIA also breaking out at these, we'll just call it at its tops, right? So we just sold Microsoft. So Microsoft broke down again. Let's go bring up Microsoft. We'll come back to NVIDIA. So now I'm down $12 total on Microsoft. And because it's breaking down in this area, I don't like it. I don't like this at all. I don't want to be a part of this. And it might be better off for the short side. So do I take a short in this? No. What I'm going to wait to see is if it breaks down and pops back up. Except for there's one last thing here, guys. We do have this big gap right here that it's going to need to try and fill. So that might be a nice short right there. Let's go ahead and take a little peeky gander at it in total. So yeah, it does look like, so there is a little bit of resistance here, but from here to here, that looks like a nice little short sale. That thing might come all the way down to 259. So we'll zoom back in on the 5 minute. We'll take a peeky gander at it. And yeah, it does look like this thing might actually break down in this area. Now, I'm not going to play with it because it's at its lows. You know, I don't want to mess with this. I don't want to take too many trades on it and get yelled at. So, let's go back to NVIDIA, NVDA, and let's take a peeky gander. So NVIDIA is doing that nice little bounce. It is looking really pretty in this area, but how long will this bounce hold? Is it just going to be range bound and be a chop fest all day today? That is my conclusion, that we're going to be a chop fest all day because tomorrow is going to be what it's going to be. Now FRC, let's take a look at it. So FRC, I'm waiting for FRC to come up to that $20 area so we can get a short in. But if it doesn't want to, or say it wants to break on through, then we're getting some free shirts out, right guys? Let's see, catch up on the chat here. Yeah, so Devin Press, I hope I answered or went in deep enough for NVIDIA for you. We are trading at its highs. We're creating this double top at its highs, and now we're just back down here at 259 retesting this area. And if you want to see this thing hold out in this area, that could be a good risk, but right now we're just kind of playing in the middle. So if you were to get, you'd want to get down here in the base to just be really careful, okay guys? So I hope that answers your question, Devin, and I do hope I've earned your subscription to this channel because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, guys. I'm bringing you the commentary, the analysis that you want, that you need, that is desirable, and I try to bring the best entertainment by doing these live trades for you guys, okay? So if you can get behind that, if you want to be here for me just like I want to be here for you, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and show up for pre-market prep at 8 a.m., baby. Now tomorrow I'm going to be here all day, 8 until 4 for you. So make sure you show up and you say hi. So let me take a peek at the chat. I have a put for Tesla this week. Okay, that's cool. If we take a look at Tesla, I was actually shorting Tesla at these highs because we pushed up the past 2 days now. We ran into this resistance at 191, and it actually pushed up higher to 192, so a little bit higher than I anticipated, and now we're in this area of purgatory where NVDA is going to need to find an area to hold, and it's going to have to create a range bound to figure out where it does want to hold, okay? So we're going to keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at ELF. So ELF, if you guys know, this morning I took on this breakout, I took a very, very small share size. The reason why I took a very small share size is because I want to be mentally invested and emotionally invested in this. Emotionally meaning I have money in this, right? So if I'm mentally and emotionally invested in this, that simply means that I want to see how this thing moves. So we're watching it move, we're going to see how it moves, and we're going to stick with this game plan, and we're going to add to it as it tries to, let's say it pulls back to here, we'll add 5. Say it pushes up and then pulls back to retest, we'll add 5. And we'll just add into ELF. I like ELF. Ever since this big gap up on earnings, it showed that it is a true leader in the women's beauty products, okay? Or men's beauty products, depends on if you're one of those guys that like to wear that stuff. I'll probably put on some guy liner. If I put on some eyeliner, you know, the ladies would come running. Put on some guy liner for the show, you know. I'd probably get a lot of crap from my my work buddies from back in the day, but hey, it's a new day and age. I can wear eyeliner, you know. So look at this, guys. In all seriousness, though, like Netflix here, we're up about $13.60 on. We caught these bottoms. That's why we're here in the pre-market prep, right? We're pre-market. We're getting this prep. We're trying to get a better understanding of where things are at and where we can make money. And we found that we had this base that was holding at 300 psychological and technical. I like taking my trades on more than one reason. And right here you have it, guys. We had that 300 psychological because it's a 300 even dollar area and a technical area. We know it has support and price action around it. So if this thing can form new lower highs, this might be the bet to hold on to. I would like to personally see it continue on this uptrend. If you see from yesterday, it broke through it, hit VWAP, and then it kept this uptrend here. Now we are back on that uptrend that it's tried to hold. We're going to see if it wants to continue to hold that. FRC is now pushing at 1708 now for FRC. Let me go ahead and run through the trades. Look at Microsoft. Look at this. Microsoft's like, just one more try. Just give me one more chance here. And it looks like it did break down. You know what? I am going to give it one more chance, guys. One more chance here at this low. And we're going to see what it wants to take. And we're just risking small. As you guys know, we're just risking small. I always am going to risk very small to try and get the bigger move, okay? Now, if this thing wants to continue to fail, but we know we're in this area, and I do have issues with trying to cherry pick these areas. So if I got to keep giving back little bits, that's fine. I'm not trying to cherry pick these bottoms like I was just trying to cherry pick this bottom with Microsoft. As you guys could tell, I tried to cherry pick it right here, but we didn't have any proof of concept. So now we have a little bit of proof of concept here. Now we need to see that we need to see the volume coming in. If we don't get volume here, then we ain't gonna get nothing. All right, so let's get some volume in here. Let's see Microsoft show its true colors like it did yesterday. Why do I say that yesterday? Well, because it sold off and traded sideways, the overall market actually failing. And then the day before that and before that, it showed that it was a market leader still, that it still has all this proof of concept. And, you know, with it being in the tech sector and heavily weighted, there's a huge chance that Microsoft is going to move up with the rest of the market. So let's go ahead and keep an eye on that. We're going to keep running through what I have up here. We have the SPY. We have the SPY over here on this left-hand side. This SPY is trading at 396.29, and it looks like it's going to want to come back down and retest this area at 394. Between 394 and 393 be good areas for it to want to try and hold. It is 10:30, guys. Good morning. If you have not said good morning yet, find somebody, grab them, and tell them good morning. So good morning. Let's catch up on chat though. So we got through NVIDIA. Devin, you never responded to me. I do hope that was good enough for you, because it was good enough for me, and it's good enough for who it's for. Angelina says, I have a put on Tesla. We got through that. NVDA long-term target 315. Nice job, Joshi. Spending time between 62 and 69. Below 245 is weak. Downside at 225 support. Very nice. Angelina, you're very welcome. Let's see. I was a mistake, but is that now like that? Just Angelina would be okay. All right, I'll just call you Angelina. Thank you. Good to see you. I'm glad you're in here, Angelina. Joshi says, see how I told on Friday that, oh, huge buying done, operations on, yes, the huge buying on SPY, yes, and Dow Jones. Now you can see the after effect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I know all about institutional ownership and institutional buying, and that's how I find my market leaders. Like, let's look at ELF. And PDD was actually a really big one, but you can see on these bottoms, guys, that you'll see like market institutional ownership. See all this buying, all this green buying here? That means institutional ownerships are buying up these bases, right? And when you see that, when you see a lot of these big buy-ups right here, you can see that the market is whoever's in the market, whoever's accumulating these shares, it's institutional ownership. It's not people like you, me, or Joshi, because we don't have that kind of money, right? We only got 25, 30, 50K, whatever, to throw at the market. Now, these institutional ownerships, they definitely have the money to throw at that. They have millions of dollars that they are in charge of that they can use to buy into all different types of assets. So that being said, guys, you know, we want to look at the SPY. If we look at the SPY, you can see there is an accumulative base being formed, not AI, but SPY. If we look at this base, see this overall volume being bought up? So this right here is its peak. This is, in this area, is its highest traded volume in a long time, like 6 to 10 months, guys. So now that we've seen all this buying up, we've seen this big sell-off and all this buying up, the only thing I don't like to see is that I took from William O'Neill's excerpts is after a rally, there should be a follow-through on the second day, and it should have higher volume. Okay, so we want to see higher volume after a push through. So right here on this, we would want to see higher volume. Okay, and we're not seeing higher volume on this just yet. So it makes me a little weary because from some of the teachings that I have learned from Mr. William O'Neill himself, not really himself, from his books, from his strategies, is the fact that when you see this big buy up, these big areas of volume, you want to see follow through volume that is higher than the previous day. As to where this volume that we've seen was not higher than previous day, then this volume was not higher than the previous, well, it was higher than this previous day, but not on the big one. And then this higher volume was not higher on the previous day. Okay, so it was higher, higher on the next day, on the next day. So we want to see the volume higher on the next day, and all we're seeing is volumes start to teeter off. So this big volume is nice to see. It's nice to see that, but in order for this thing to carry on, I want to see more volume. I want to see follow-through volume, and we're not seeing that follow-through volume. And I think a big reason for that is because of the FOMC meeting that's happening tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That rate hike decision at 2 o'clock is going to be the tall tale sign on whether this market is going to want to head north or south. I can almost guarantee it, guys. It's either going to head north or south tomorrow right around 2, okay? Or maybe right before 2 in case you got some of that insider information. If you got that insider information, you need to tell me, because I want to get rich on YouTube in front of you guys. I think that would be the coolest thing in the world, and that way you can tell your friends, tell your grandma, she'll come in here and learn how to make some money too. But eventually, guys, you know, these things take a long time. You can't get rich overnight. You cannot get rich overnight. These things take a long time to learn, and I'm sure there's quite a few people in here that watch me. They've been trading for a long time too. Some of them even longer than I've been trading, and I absolutely love having those guys in here because they keep me safe, they keep me thinking, and they keep me on my toes. And half of them are my mentors, goodness gracious. Yeah, that's right. You don't need to just have one mentor that you learn from. If you learn from everybody, then you know how everybody trades, and you can trade around that, right? So, catching up on the chat, let's see. I think you all can learn. Yes, no, that's not the way to identify buying or selling based on the volume candle. Okay, well, I'll just tell you this. This book here is where I've learned how to learn the volume price analysis. So I recommend this to anybody. It's a complete guide to volume price analysis, and I truly do like this. Now, I also learned a lot of my volume from that William O'Neill's guide, how to make money in stocks. So there's different ways to learn and understand volume. Personally, that's how I am looking at this volume. I'm looking at it on a daily time frame, because that's how I've learned it, is on a daily time frame for your overall follow through. And I'm just reading you excerpts literally from my books. This that I have up on this chart, Joshi, is from my book. So whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, it's just information that I have learned that I'm regurgitating to you. So if you look at it a different way, I would love to know how you look at it, or maybe if I miss something, tell me what I missed so I can learn from it as well. But make sure you join our Discord too, because that would be a great place for us to learn further in this trading community. So if you guys want to be a part of that, of course, it's absolutely free, guys. I'll just post that in the chat so that way you can join and have conversations outside of the trading room, so that way we can continue to learn, because every single day we want to get better here. Every single day we want to get better. It doesn't matter if it's in trading or you in your life. If you can learn to get better every single day, you're on the right track, guys. So Joshi, I hope what I said doesn't make you too mad or grumpy, but I'm more than happy to learn from you too. But I'm pretty sure my volume price analysis is pretty good. It can always get better though, so I'm willing to learn from you, brother. So let's run through the indices, and then I need to check out my trades. I mean, what am I in? Netflix? All right, Netflix is holding up. What else am I in? Microsoft? Microsoft's still holding up, but barely. This thing is barely holding up. What are we up right now? Are we up or down on Microsoft? We're still down about $2.75. So let's see. Now take itself position in Tesla's here at 192, and we'll add, if lucky, around 207 at above for target 163. Let's go ahead and take a look at Joshi's Tesla. So good old Uncle Tesla. Yeah, you know what? I do like that as a short trade, but I need to look at the overall market. It looks like this is starting to teeter off. I do like that. I do like that short right there, Joshi, and I might end up taking that with you. We're not getting a lot of buying volume to come back in here, and yeah, that does look good, but I need to run through the indices. How's the Qs looking? Qs look like they're failing too. We got Tesla pushing up to 191.50. If we get up a little bit higher, that would be a nice little short sale, I think. Netflix is still pushing up higher, which is really interesting because the overall market looks like it's failing. Microsoft looks like it's trying here, guys. It's really trying to hold that bottom. It's good that we waited. It's good that we're using this low. And if Microsoft can take off here, I mean, that would look absolutely beautiful. AMZN. Now look at Tesla. If we can get some volume in here for Tesla, that's going to look good for Tesla overall. But remember, guys, if you're an RSI trader, we're in oversold conditions all day so far, all day, even in pre-market. So keep that in mind. On the 5-minute, that is. If we zoom out to the hourly, it might look a little different. We're still in the oversold on the hourly and in the resistance. What else can we look at here, guys? Let's look at the 15. Yeah, the 15 is still oversold as well. So be careful in this area. I'm not saying the RSI is tell all. I'm not saying that my trend lines or the liquidity or the volume price analysis is a tell all. But if you can use these things to help form confluency in your trading using multiple time frames and multiple indicators, then you can go ahead and take your trade using risk management first. So Tesla's trading at 191.88 up here at these tops. Looking really good here at this top. But we're not getting much buying volume to come in on this. So a part of me does like what Joshi's saying in this area for a short. So let's take a look at Meta. So we Meta, and I told you guys I like Meta if it was down here at this 197 area. And if I was still holding that 5 shares short, we'd be looking really, really good, wouldn't we? We need to look at DraftKings because DKNG, that's right, DKNG. Okay, yeah, DraftKings, look at this, right in that area, push right up into its resistance. Now, this is a trade right here, boys. This is the trade. I'm going to go ahead. Now, I can't take it right away. I need to look this over, but this is an area of resistance now. Why do I say that? Well, let's zoom out on the 1 hour because I need to look over this thing before I just grab this trade. So DraftKings broke this area of support, okay, broke back through, came back down, and now is acting as resistance. All right, if it can't hold up in this area, that tells me that the DraftKings is not doing so well overall. So if it wants to hold this area and head on higher, that'd be great. But if it wants to head on lower, well, this might be a beautiful trade, a beautiful area to take a short on. So if I take a short here at 17.95, this would be pretty nice to hold on to. But this is very liquid too, so that's nice that it's liquid trade. Tesla does look good there too for a short, but I think I like DraftKings a little bit more on this short. So we'll see if DraftKings wants to get us in here. DKNG. I do hope it gets in here because this could be a flush if it does. So we're going to see what DraftKings wants to do in this area. So good luck on your short, Joshi. It looks very, very nice. Now taking the sell position. Yeah, you got it. And B Stewie, of course, dude. I don't know how you do it, but every single time you put up a trade here, I like what you're bringing me. So awesome job. Thank you for that. And look at that, Microsoft. We are getting that bounce on Microsoft that I wanted. We're up about $10 on that now. So do I cut half? Do I cut half here, guys, and then take those profits, or am I going to hold on to this thing for the bigger expected move? You know, that's always the hardest thing to do for me, guys. It's always the stinking hardest thing to do for me is to hold on for that bigger expected move. Now, come on, DraftKings, get me in this dang trade. I don't want to buy out these bottoms here. I definitely don't want to sell out on these bottoms. I am chasing, considering a little bit, I guess, because 18 is the area that I want. So maybe it's not chasing. This looks pretty good here, guys. I really like it. So we're going to see what is going to come up with DraftKings. If it gets me in, it gets me in. If it doesn't, well, then it hates my guts and it can burn. It looks like Netflix is still heading higher, guys. We're up about 15.25 on this trade. I did like Netflix at this bottom. We called this out in the pre-market prep. If you don't like pre-market prep, then you don't like making money. And it looks like we are in DraftKings. There we go. DraftKings, it swiped up. We're already down $2.50 in this trade, but we're going to hold on to DraftKings to see what it wants to do, because if it heads any higher, this 1807, I'm probably going to want to be out of this fairly quickly. So we're going to keep an eye on DraftKings and make sure it can break this VWAP area. Yes, it is trading above the VWAP area, and with the overall market trying to head in whatever kind of direction it thinks it wants to head in. Let's go ahead and put DraftKings over here, DKNG. It looks like my Apple just sold. I didn't even realize that we are still in Apple. So let's go ahead and bring up Apple, AAPL, and let's see where we're at. So we did lose. We're down about $10 now on Apple total. So Apple is a short, it looks like. And now Apple is breaking down 156.92 there, looking really good for the downside. We tried to defend that 157 because of Bookmaps here was showing it was strong, but now, goodness, it breaking that 157. It looks like that next area is the next biggest area of liquidity is like 156, guys, those even areas. So keep in mind, if this thing wants to pop back up and get me in for a short, that would look way more enticing at 150, at that 157 area. Wow, goodness gracious. We're up about $1.50 on that DraftKings trade now, and it looks like, yeah, Apple is just breaking down here, looking absolutely great for the overall short. So congratulations if you're in that. Tesla looks like it is breaking down now at 191.57. Not really breaking down, but it is heading down to the south side. So Joshi, congratulations. You're already up small in that trade. Let's take a look at NVDA. So NVDA came back up. It's right under that VWAP area. I almost want to take another short on that, but we're already in some trades already, guys. So there's no point in getting too overwhelmed. Let's run through our trades. We're in DraftKings to the short side. We are in Microsoft to the north side, but I think with this Microsoft, with everything the way it's looking, I'm going to go ahead and get out right now, guys. We're going to take out right now. We're going to take a $13 profit on that. So we're up 57 cents on the day for Microsoft because we took quite a few hits. So we're out of Microsoft. What a great trade there. Now, why do I get out of Microsoft? Because the overall market looks like it's heading to the south side. So I don't want to be in that. What about Netflix? NFLX. Let's take a look at it. So it looks like the overall market is heading to the sell side. So I'm going to go ahead and sell my shares of Netflix. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and sell those right now. We're up about $10 in that trade. So bada bing, bada boom. We're making money today, baby. Let's go ahead and bring up DraftKings over here at DKNG. Bada bing, bada boom. We're up about $10. We're going to hold on to this thing. We got about 100 shares. I didn't want to tell you guys that when I took it, but we're up about, we have 100 shares of DraftKings in this. And where is my price target? Well, I don't really know, actually. That's actually, I'm glad I asked. So I guess our next target in this trade would be a 1774 would probably be a great area to take out half. Okay, because that is its traded area from yesterday. And then the next area is going to be all the way down here at 1745. So we're going to get out half right here at 1775. And then we'll take the last half down here at 1747. All right, and we're going to see how tasty of a trade that is as NVDA is pulling back to that 260.08. Let's look at SMH because we were in SMH this morning, and look, you see why I got out of it, guys? Right there, exactly. We made 47 cents. I know, it's funny to say, but here's the thing. We're not losing money. We're making money on trades that aren't working out, right? So pay attention to that, guys. I might say, hey, we're only up 47 cents on SMH, but you got to understand, we were in the long on SMH, guys. We didn't take a loss. We made money on this trade, regardless of how much it is. We did not take a loss on this overall failure right here, okay? We went long on this and got out when we see the overall market. And that's what I mean by confluency across time frames, guys. We want to look at multiple time frames, and we want to look at multiple tickers, and we want to see confluency throughout that same sector. So we start with the Qs. We work through all the leading sectors in that, and we figure out, hey, what is going on here? So we made money on a losing trade today, and you can't hear that very often. Now, we are out of Netflix. We will come back and revisit Netflix, but let's look at ELF. So ELF is breaking down here, but I like ELF, and I'm going to hang out with ELF for a little bit longer because this is stronger in the overall market. So I'm not sweating this. That's why I took such a small share size. Now, if I would have taken 20 or 30 shares and we were down, $30 to $50, I would be panic selling out of this thing because I don't want to lose any more money, right? So no, that's not what's going to happen here. I'm going to go ahead and keep on keeping on, and we want to see this thing carry on wayward son. So if it can hold out anywhere in between the 73.50 area, then I'm still going to hold on to this tasty little trade, and we're going to try and make some more money off of it. All right, let's take a look at AI. So AI is still holding. We're in this trade for the long time. We're down here. We got our average shares in are now 21.29. So like I said, after we added 5 more, 21.29 is now our new area of that we bought it in. So what I'm going to do is just bring my stop up. Well, we got to change this to 10 now, right? We got to change this to 10 because we have 10 shares because we added into this, and now we're going to bring our stop to just below this area, and we're going to sell 10 in this area, and we're going to edit this so it will be for good till I close it. So GTC means good till I close it, okay? Now it's set out. Now we have 10 shares that will stop out if for some weird reason it comes all the way down here and stops us out. And it wouldn't be a weird reason, right? We're seeing a lot of selling off in the market. So let's go through the indices and see where we're at. But first, let me take a sip. This one is for Joshi. Joshi, this one's for you. Thank you for being here, brother. All right, Joshi says, if Tesla spends time between 193 and 197, then only can make further up move. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with that more. That's why I always talk about that sideways action. If we're in this thing and it doesn't just, slowly work its way down and then fail, and it trades sideways above VWAP or even below VWAP, I get a little nervous and I get out pretty quick, or at least take out half, That was going to be my question. Good time to short DraftKings. Yeah, baby, you're on top of it, DKNG. Yeah, right when you message me, we're right at an $18 psychological level, and right when you message me, you can already see we're not trying to cherry pick this top, right? We came up and it already headed to the south, then it bounced up to that $18 area, and now it's selling off to the south side. So yeah, B Stewie, you are on top of it, and honestly, my hat's off to you, brother. You've learned so much so quick just in the past couple of weeks. Well, shoot, since we started, so in the past 5 or 6 weeks, I know you're reading, I know you're talking about it to your youngsters, I know that you're out there, and now you're showing me your true colors here, brother. You're showing me real good stock picks in real good areas, and that's why we're trying to create this community, guys, because we want like-minded investors in here looking at the same plays. And if I'm not looking at what you want to see, you need to put that in the chat, guys. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, and I do your bidding. I'll be your commentator. Let me be your voice, but I need to know what you're watching, okay? If you're in a small cap, low float, speaking of which, we got a couple that popped up today. Let's take a peeky gander. But anyway, with that whole spiel, I just wanted to say, hey, hit that like and subscribe. Hit it. You want to be a part of this just as much as I want you to be a part of this. So just do it. Quit second guessing yourself, and don't be one of those guys like, well, I don't subscribe to anybody. Well, you can subscribe to me, baby. Okay, because I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, except for tomorrow. I'll be here from 8 until 4 because of the Fed rate hike decision. So make sure you're here for that, guys. You do not want to miss that. It is going to be awesome. Tomorrow is going to be litty, baby. Litty like a titty. All right, so we're up here in this area. Now, guys, last time we were up here in QNCX. Last time we were up here, it sold off pretty hard, so be very, very careful. Its highest traded area of liquidity, the most recent highest area of liquidity, is right here where it's at, okay? So if it breaks down this 140, I think we're going to see more selling to the sell side. If it wants to form new higher lows anywhere in this 120 to 150, forming new higher lows, I think this has an opportunity to become a market runner, okay? USX, unless this thing was a reverse split, this thing took off to the north side, reaching close to $10, but now giving up about half of it, trading down here at around $6. So SPY resistance at 397 to 399. If spends time in this, then we'll play for target to 365. Those are some big volatile numbers, but let's take a look at the SPY. So we know, yes, we already have this area marked out for you, Joshi, and you were here with us plenty of other times, so you know we have this marked out. So Joshi says SPY resistance from 397 to 399, and look at this, guys. Look what I have marked out. 397 to 400, you know? So Joshi and I are kind of on the same page when it comes to some of these trades. Sometimes we disagree, but that's always really, really good for us too, because then I can learn from him and he can learn from me. But we have this resistance that looks like a very good resistance. But one thing I really want to point out, guys, is this uptrend. Now, I've played uptrend plays like this before. So let's say we do get that pullback that we anticipated, and it does break through this 395, 394.80 area. I still think the overall SPY looks good as long as it stays above 390, because it will hold this trend line. Okay, so I like the SPY where it's at. It's still looking very constructive for this pullback. If it wants to find a new higher low anywhere between this area and 390, I'm still a bull in the market for the SPY, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. Just keeping an eye on it. Looks like DraftKings is finally starting to get some volume to come in right here at this base. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is zoom out, take a look at this, and this was supposed to be where we took half, right, guys? So we're gonna take that half. I don't know why I'm just staring at it like this, but we're gonna buy the market. We're gonna sell half of our shares right here. Beautiful trade right there, guys. So we made $6 on that trade, and if it wants to head lower and hit that new price target down here at 1744, then we're gonna go ahead and take the rest of it out. But if it wants to come back up here and stop me out for break even, well, that's fine. We've already made our money on this trade, and we don't really care. 1796, so we'll go 1795, and we'll go ahead and put this $50 buy limit order here. So if it wants to get all the way back up there and stop me out, that's a-okay. That means it broke through VWAP, and it's still looking strong. So DraftKings, we made $5 on a quick scalp, and if it wants to get back up to those tops and then head back on down, that's a-okay with me. AAPL now, it just alerted me. Let's see what it's got for us, guys. We're trading at 156.94 right now on the hourly. I think it's back up here letting me know, hey, you can short this. So maybe we do take a short in this. I say questioning because I don't know how much I trust this area. So I need to bring up the book maps here and see, yeah, there's lots of liquidity in this area. Two things can happen. It can break through this liquidity area and head on even higher, or it can break down from this liquidity area. But this is a very, there's a lot of fighting here going on, guys. There's a lot of fighting going on here, guys, because we could go to 156 or 158, but it looks like we have a lot of overhead liquidity here. A lot of overhead liquidity. If that's what I'm seeing on this left-hand side, I don't know if that still holds true, but that 157, man, that 157 is looking like it is going to be a beast to try and get through. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to take a nice small size short. We're going to join the ASP. We're going to try and get in this right now. There we go. Now we're in, and now we're defending this 157 area. So if it breaks out above this 157, holy crap, I want out of this, and I probably want to switch to the long side if it wants to break out. But if it doesn't break through this 157, I'm going to wish I had more shares short, and I might add in on its way down. But this is all talk. I'm just a big, hairy, talking chin, just trying to get you guys to hit that like and subscribe button. All right, let's do a cheers. Who do we got? Angelina, are you still in here? If Angelina's still in here, this is going to be a Alex, are you still in here? You know what? This one's for my boy Alex. Alex, I hope you're still in here. This one's for you, not for me. And I'm not sleeping on you, Angelina. Right here, I want you to know this one is for you, not for me. Thirsty boy, you know, thirsty boy. I need some drinks. All right, it looks like DraftKings is really trying to get back up and stop me out for a solid win, but we're going to see if it really wants to, as Apple is just doing its thing right here. We know that 157 is so strong, guys. It's so strong right there. We want to see this thing sell off right here. If it doesn't and it gets above that 157, I think it's going to be hell to the north side, guys. So we really need to keep an eye on it here. We want to make sure that this thing is going to sell off somewhat kind of hard, because if it gets above this 157, I really think that this is going to be something absolutely nuts. So I'm going to add into this now that we're seeing double on the top here. We're going to move this up to 50 shares, and in case this thing wants to rip city, we're going to go ahead and put our stop at 157.06. That's going to be my stop, and here we are heading to the downside on 50 shares. We're up about $3.68. Now, DraftKings, don't touch it. Don't you dare do it. I want you to head lower now too. All right, and DraftKings is now trying to head lower anyway. We shouldn't call it out as it's heading lower, but we're going to see, because you know, this could be the trade of the day, guys, on Apple. For myself anyway, but these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I'm just looking at this crazy book map chart, looking at all these bubbles, looking at all these blurps, and going, hey, what could happen here? You know, what could happen? And what I would like to see happen is 156.51, but really, this 156 is its juicy area that it's probably going to want to go to. But look at 158. Oh my gosh, I need to start learning and understanding book maps more. I need to watch more videos on this. I just started using this, you know, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, guys, and just recently have I really been really looking at it on a daily basis. So just the past couple days. So you guys can learn this with me if you want. All right. So we're gonna see if that wants to hold out. Heiser retracted a message. Oh no, Heiser, I miss you, Heiser. Let's see. Remember, if you see the candles above 397 and below 399 means operators selling. Let's see. Retail traders follow candle volume. Operators are more smarter than retail traders, and they would avoid making big volume candles. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. We need to look at volume anomalies, right? And if you don't know what a volume anomaly is, I'm obviously going to recommend this book that I recommend all the time by Anna Cooley. Okay, it talks about volume anomalies in here because retail traders don't know how to read volume price analysis, or if they do, they're seeing the obvious things, right? Hang on, we gotta get out of here. Let's see. Yep, it stopped us out. All right, it's back up in there. Look at that, guys. Wow, Apple's just doing its thing. Wow, what a beautiful day for Apple. Absolutely just chickadee, chop, chop, chop. You know, maybe I should give myself a wider stop loss on this, but you know, it looks like Apple's got my number today, so we're going to go ahead and let Apple do its thing. But I'm really thinking this thing's a short, man. I really do. I don't want to fight this thing on the way up, but 157 is the area. You know, maybe I need to give it a little bit more room than this and see where we can get it in. So, goodness gracious, you know. Goodness gracious, that's all I gotta say. So we're in 50 shares short of Apple. We really want, I'm gonna give this a little bit more room this time to see if I can't get this thing to wiggle to the south side. But, you know, we were expecting a range day between 157 and 158 today. That's what we talked about this morning. And it did. It played that range day for us up until 11 when it finally broke through. 1050, actually, it broke through. And now we're trying to play this retest. You guys know I like these retests. If it breaks a solid area of 157, we know that it is a very solid area, and if it wants to not get above this, if it doesn't want to break up above this, then, well, simply put, we want to be on the short side, right? So I'm taking these small losses to try and get the bigger win, but if I would have just held on, I wouldn't have taken these small losses. I would just be holding on to the same share size. So we are up quite a few trades today. This might be considered over trading, but I would take every trade that I took so far today. I would probably take again. I need to review these trades. So we only have less than an hour here with me left today, and then I have so much other work I got to do today. I got turning all my old work stuff today to the old job, the truck, the computer, the phone, the whole thing. I'm giving it all back because I'm here for you guys now. I'm here for you every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. I'm going to be here and I'm going to do this dang thing. And there we go. We are in short another 100 shares of this Apple, all right? And I don't want to fight this thing. This is my very last try on Apple. If it wants to break to the north side, I'm not going to deny its strength, and we're going to get out as soon as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and put our stop on here. Where are we going to stop out? Is it going to be the pain? Is it going to be the pain that stops me out, or is it going to be something else? So this is our final frontier right here, this 157. If it breaks up above this 157, I'm going to just have to stop out and call it a day on Apple, because I cannot get a good visual on it. So if it wants to hold and it doesn't, we're down $26 on Apple. So it's a decent sized loss on Apple. Now we could run through, I could talk about all my wins and all my losses, but we know that $26 is a decent sized loss, because I only like to take $5, $10, or $15. So that being said, we're going to have to take it nice and easy now. We're going to have to keep a mind on watching our P's and Q's, because we don't have the best eye on Apple like I thought. So we chopped around, we broke through. Maybe this book maps isn't helping me nearly as much as I wanted it to, but because we are where we're at, I'm done with Apple. That was my last trade on Apple. I'm not going to try and fight this Apple. I'm not even going to look at this Apple, okay, guys? So sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, but we're still up quite a few dollars on the rest of these trades here. We're down about 470 on ELF. Let's see how AI is doing. Still kind of just trading sideways. We're up about 10 bucks on that. Let's see, DraftKings, we're up about 870 on that total, but it might stop us out for break even on that last piece. Let's take a look at Tesla, see where that's trading at. Good old Uncle Tesla. Look at that Tesla, guys. Tesla is still trading at those highs at 192.35. It's looking really good. I'm glad I did not take too many trades at once, guys, because you know, it looks like things are starting to turn around. So let me run through the indices really quick, because it's been a few minutes, and we'll see what's going on. So we're going to bounce off this bottom on the SPY, and it looks like our base was 395.81, and it looks like it's trying to curl and head a little higher on that note. So that being said, we're going to keep an eye on the SPY, because like I said, guys, we're expecting some sideways action today. That sideways action in the overall market, the whole reason for that sideways action is simply put because of the FOMC meeting tomorrow. You know, we want to, okay, Joshi, we'll see you soon. Thank you for swinging in. So we're expecting sideways action, because that's usually what happens before the FOMC meeting, and usually what happens during the day while the FOMC meeting is going on. So keep that in mind, guys. We got IWM just trading sideways. We got the QQQ pushing back up to 307.31, still just kind of trading sideways. We got Netflix breaking down here at the VWAP area, but still creating new higher lows at 303.48. So that's looking pretty good. We got Microsoft. Are we still in this trade? Nope, we're out of Microsoft. So we... Why did I get out? Because the market was looking weak, right, guys? Now I bought a beautiful base, and I kind of still wish I'm in it now, but that's okay. We took some money out of Microsoft. We made 57 cents. I thought we had more than that, guys. Well, that's all right. It is what it is. Amazon just chopping around, trading sideways. We got Meta still breaking down. Now, guys, what I like to do is just imagine I still held that 5 share short from this morning's open, you know, and I just held on to it just to see where it would go. Because what did I say, guys? Look at this. I can call it. There's two big differences here, guys. There's being a technical analyst and there's a trader, right? And I'm trying to do both while commentating for you all at once. So if you can appreciate that, hit that like and subscribe, because you can see me grow as a trader every single day. Every single day, I come on here and I take those live trades for you and I put myself on the line. It's very hard to do, but it helps me stay disciplined. So it's a symbiotic relationship when it comes to this YouTube. But what I do is I call things out all day, but trading them is a totally different story. If anybody else in here is a trader, you'll know it's easy to call stuff out. It's easy to call stuff out all stinking day, but to actually hold, to actually trade the trade, that is the hardest part. Now, I called this morning, maybe we just take 5 shares short and we ride this thing all the way down to here to fill its gap, right? Where I was risking 5 to make 25. You guys remember that this morning? Well, I lost $1.35 being squeamish at the market open. Well, what was my risk? Just the top, the 203.96, and I did not follow through on that game plan. So that is another little excerpt from myself that's going to say, hey, should have stuck with the game plan, right guys? So, but you know, I mark out many different game plans every single day. That doesn't mean you need to take them or you need to trade them. You need to mark out your own, and you need to find conviction and confluency with your own trading. So we're down here on NVIDIA at 259.43, which is looking like a great area for NVIDIA. Why do I say that? Well, let's zoom out to the 1 hour and take a little peeky gander. So if we look on NVIDIA, we have this average trading volume at $259 or $260, and that might be a nice area to risk if you're looking for a long. But keep in mind that we haven't been up here for very long, and its biggest area of liquidity is right back down here at this 245 area. Right at that breakout area was a good area for that. So let's go look at DraftKings. Now, it did stop me out. We made about $6.70 on DraftKings. It looks really good in this base. I told you guys I want to take out half here and then take out the other half down here, but we found a really good bounce off that, so we only made half of our money and then stopped out for break even on that last half. Now, this last half, we could actually play it again. We could actually take another short in this area if we wanted to, just because it's still holding true. But, you know, if the overall market is starting to head up, why would we want to bet our chips against it? And as we say that, Tesla making new highs at 193.18, looking very, very strong for Tesla again today. Apple looking like it's at 157.52 now. As you guys know, I talked about switching that trade and going, instead of playing the 157 break and the retest, it broke through and now it's heading higher. So look at that for Apple, now at 157.58. Wow, what a push. And same thing for DraftKings, it's pushing up with the rest of the overall market. Let's take a look at Google. I've been a fanboy for Google for a little while now, and guys, we only have 45 minutes left. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this desk back down. If you're still with me, let me know what you're watching. I would love to take a little peek again at what you're watching. Now, I know small caps are not that crazy, so our chat's not gonna be litty, but that's a-okay. If you want me to go over something, if you have a trade that you're interested in, you need to let me know. Let me know in chat ASAP, baby. Riot, look at Riot. Wow, Riot did come all the way back down here and retested. We didn't even see it. No, actually, we were looking for this $8, weren't we? We were looking for this $8. So let's bring up Bitcoin and just see where old Bitcoin is. Just still trading sideways here, you know, creating just creating this uptrend here, guys, on this, and you know, it's good to see. It's good to see these uptrends. We want to see them hold, or if it does break through, we want to see it hold a base like this 521 before we get in on another trade for that. Okay, so that's Bitcoin right now. Now I'm looking at DraftKings again. Now that it's back up here in this area, you know, I just feel like it's another short in this area. So, you know, I'm going to take this short one more time, just like we did on the last one. It's called reloading, you know, and you want to reload your trades from time to time, and that's what I'm doing here. As the SPY's right up underneath that resistance of, there we go. Now we're in. We're going to see what this thing wants to do here. If DraftKings wants to go any higher than this, if it wants to get any higher than where we're at, I'm going to get out right away. I'm not giving it any room. And I know I just talked about this yesterday, not giving it too much room. And, you know, you need to give it room for the overall trade. But we know that this 18 is its area. We're just above that area. So if it wants to continue higher, I don't want to give anything back on this trade. All right, so I'm keeping that in mind. If it doesn't do what I want it to do right here, right now, then I won't be in this for a long time, just a good time, not a long time. So we're going to see what happens of that. So the SPY is back up above that VWAP area. It needs to break down here with the overall market in order for my DraftKings trade to work. Now, ELF, on the other hand, let's take a look at ELF. If it will let me. ELF is breaking down still. We're down about $5 on ELF. That's a-okay. We're up about 10 on AI. AI is giving a really nice push up to the north side at 254. I'm glad we added into that trade. So back to DraftKings, just because we know in this area, this is its area to take a short. But if you want to get, you know, real technical, like with this technical data, it did break up this, and yeah, it's not holding here. So we're just going to buy market. We're going to get out of this thing, and we're going to take a small loss. So we're still up $4 on this trade, but we're going to just look away. So we knew today was going to be a really, you know, pretty choppy day, pretty rough. So that's why we're getting in and out pretty quick. I think our biggest loss was Apple, but our biggest win, what was our biggest win in, guys? I can't even remember. Was it Tesla? No. What was our biggest trade in? Was it Meta? No. I can't remember, guys. Is it Microsoft? I don't think so. You know, maybe we didn't have a big win today. I could have swore we had like a $30 win on something. Was it Apple maybe? Let's see. No, that's where our loss was. So, oh, Netflix we had a nice win on. So Netflix had a nice little win. And we ended up getting out because the overall market, it's only $10. I know we got a win somewhere on here. It was a pretty little tasty trade, and I'm having a hard time remembering what it was. That's all right, guys. We're gonna keep on carrying on here. Snap back up into this area of resistance. If it wants to hold up in this area, that could be looking really, really good for Snap, but it needs to hold these areas. If not, it needs to come all the way back down to 10 so I can buy into it and carry on Wayward Son. Now Tesla reaching 193.23, looking really good up here. Wow, let's see where its resistance is. So if we pull out Tesla and we bring out, oh, we don't want to do that. It'll freeze up everything. This $200, its next psychological area. Now we have this these tops right here. This is a big area of resistance, and it looks like it's right in that area of resistance. Now, is this enough resistance for me to play it short? Well, shoot, guys, you know, I'll tell you what, I've been wrong before. You know, it all depends. It all depends on what you're looking at and how you want to play these trades. Right now, with Tesla looking very, very strong, that might be the blow-off top here. This could be a great area of resistance, but as you guys know, I don't need to be cherry picking these tops. If I cherry pick these tops, I'm going to get hurt, right? So if I wanted to take a trade, it looks like we're starting to see some weakness here. We know this area is an area of resistance, so will it hold out here? That's a really good question. I would like to see it actually do that, and if it wants to do that and head to the south side from here, I think this might be a great little area to take a trade. But I already know that I have taken plenty of trades, so I want to make sure that I'm taking the right ones. Let's take a look at Apple. AAPL. Try and distract myself for just a second. Are we back out of DraftKings? I hope, right? So Apple right back up into this area, 157.62. You know, Apple's been really kicking my butt, and you know, knowing that this is a very psychological and big resistance area, you know, I don't want to fight it. You know, I don't want to fight anything. I just don't. ATVI. Thank you for the distraction. I need that. ATVI. Let's take a look. So ATVI looks like it's above its 200-day moving average. It looks like it's got this very, very long area of resistance just above it, and just below it, it looks like. So this area is an area, and look at this, you can see where it bounces off these areas. Another big wick off and a buy up. So be careful, because this thing is really choppy. When you see things like this, you know, that's pretty scary stuff. So it came down, retested this area, got bought right back up. If this thing wants to break out above 81, I think ATVI might look really, really nice, but it is above its 200-day moving average. It looks like it's starting to try to curl, so this might look really, really good. I think this just got bought up by, was it Warren Buffett or Microsoft? I think it was Microsoft that bought this up, so that might be really, really good. As Tesla is still trading higher, 193.73. This thing is looking absolutely monumentous up here with a lot of traded volume, wanting to push higher, looking absolutely scrumptious. Wow, look at you go, Tesla. Wow, absolutely love to see it, guys. You want to see Tesla go higher, that's for gosh darn sure. As the SPY is still looking like it's finding some resistance in that area. IWM, let's take a look. Looks like IWM is just trading sideways, still looking weak in the overall market. We'll go to the bank stocks here in just a minute, guys. We've got 40 minutes left of this show, so stay tuned, guys, because we're going to get through it, and we're going to show you what we got going on. Netflix just still trading sideways here in this area. Microsoft did bounce off that base, but is not showing too much off of that. So Amazon just trading sideways. Meta still trading down lower here, 199.58 for Meta. When it starts shaping up here, that would look good for it. NVDA now still down here at this base. Yes, that was a nice area to short. Can't take them all, guys. Can't take all these shorts. I really wish that I could, but then I probably would be down a little bit more than I am already today. So we're going to keep on keeping on. It looks like Tesla is just kind of doing its thing up here, man. You know, it looks really good. I wish I had a better visual, but this just looks like a mess up here for Tesla. One thing I can do to help clean this up is I'll click on this equities button after I click on that cog. I'll uncheck that show area. That way we can condense this information even more. So now if we look at this area for Tesla, we can see that this is an area of resistance that it is in. It definitely is in an area of resistance, but if it breaks out this area, it can head a lot higher. So I really like this area for a short. I really do want to take this try one more time in this area, but I don't want to be the guy that's trying to cherry pick these tops. Doing it on the 1 minute, that always gets me in trouble. Maybe we use this area as a short and we try to get in here. So we're going to try and get in here. I almost took 100 shares. I need to stop being a silly with it, but man, it just looks too strong, guys. Even though it's in the oversold and all that crap, it just looks so strong. So, you know, maybe I'm not going to take this short. Tesla's just been doing crazy things lately, breaking out of this area and starting to head even higher. So even at this resistance, man, it's just hard for me to want to take this short here. It is good risk reward if you're going to use this top. We did see some wicking before it broke out higher, but now it's making new higher lows on the 1 minute. Let's switch back to the 5 and take a little peeky gander. So yeah, you know, I don't know. Don't really know, guys. That one is going to be tricky because Tesla can be so stinking strong sometimes, so we got to be careful with that. So DraftKings did push up, back up at these highs. We're going to see what it wants to do up here. If it wants to hold and wants to trade sideways, come back down and retest this 18. That might be better for the long now. Let's go run through the indices. So SPY's trading sideways, IWM. You know what we need to see? Let's come up from the bottom here. Let's see how Chewy's doing. So Chewy, actually I went through some of the financials on Chewy, and because it's on this upward trend line and it's right before its earnings, it's looking really, really good. The earnings is tomorrow, and you know what, guys? I never looked at any of these earnings, and wow, I missed ON. That sucks. So ON had better than expected earnings, and we had a nice 5-minute range play right here, guys, on this that I did not get to take. So we're gonna have to go back over ON and take a little peeky gander. I think this is a shoe company, so you know, Foot Locker's doing good. Nike, we'll see how they're doing, but you know, it's in that sector, and that sector is doing pretty good right now. I don't really see any other big gappers here. JX, GSIQ. This is the Canadian Solar. Let's see how it did. So the Canadian Solar beat. Earnings was 48. The actual was 111. So the earnings Canadian Solar did do really well. Yeah, I guess I should have another big sip of coffee, shouldn't I? I will do that. Ooh. And that is a delicious sip of coffee. Absolutely scrumptious. Look at Tesla just go. Oh my gosh, man. Getting a little bit of that fear of missing out here. Right here, as you can tell. Just Googling, loving Tesla, loving the way it looks. Is it going to show us some fruition here? Like, can it show us that this top here is an PM drop, pre-market drop? Are you talking about PM, like the ticker PM? And you're saying a drop, so Philip Morris, yeah, it definitely is dropping. PM hours would be interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, the PM hours definitely would be interesting. This Tesla, man, just you can't deny the strength here, guys. This is looking crazy right now for Tesla. Absolutely amazing. Apple, man, what a chop city. Let's see where this is at now. Yeah, now it looks like it's trying to head lower here at 157.50. I want to see the book maps on this. At 158, man, I'm telling you, it's hot. It's a hot area. This thing wants to get up to that area, but it's just having a hard time, man. What a crazy day in the market. Crazy day. But it's overall pretty good day. I'm going to go ahead and take my information right now. I'm going to export this to a file and save it, so that way I can figure out where I am at right now on the overall market, if I am positive or negative. I think we're down a couple bucks today, unfortunately. That's part of trading. We've had, I think, 2 or 3 days now, guys. 2 or 3 days now so far where we've been positive every single day, all of last week. So today, having a small loser, My biggest thing when I have a small losing day is that I don't want it to turn into a big losing day. So I'm not going to try and make this money back, you know, in the last 30 minutes of the day. I'm not going to try and, you know, search and scour for trades to see, you know, hey, you know, I got to get in a trade. I got to make this money back. I want to be green for the day. No, I don't really care, guys, because mainly I'm here for this. I'm here for you guys, and I'm here to see how the market overall works. I know I have plenty of time to just relax. I have plenty of time to relax, to take these trades throughout the week and to make bigger money. But why do I want to relax? Why do I want to wait? Well, it's really simple, guys. That fear of missing out can really hurt some of you, but remember what is going on tomorrow. What's going on tomorrow? The Fed rate hike drops at 2 o'clock. I'm going to be here from 4 in the morning, or from 8 in the morning till 4 p.m. So I'll be here all day with you guys. So if you have any questions or you want to see me, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, guys, because we will be here all day for you. So make sure you show up, show your love, show your support, and if you guys have any questions about that, let me know, and let me know what you're looking at in the chat. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is still pulling back. Yeah, now that could have been the sweetest short sale trade I've ever taken, but you know, that's what happens when you sleep on it, guys. You might just call these things out and then you go, nah, never mind. FDX is back up into this area. It was its support, but now it might act as resistance, trying to head back down here and get bought back up at its base. We'll see what that wants to do. Yeah, so ELF just kind of doing its thing, just kind of trading sideways. So let's go ahead and take a look at the overall market. So the SPY, the IWM, and the Q. So the SPY is breaking down in that area of liquidity, but just really trading sideways all day, guys, just like we called out this morning. IWM trading sideways in the Qs. They're all just in that range bound. Netflix does look like it's finally holding that trend line, looking pretty good right now. Microsoft looks like it had that bounce, but it's coming back down to retest this area. This might be a nice area to buy up if you're still looking to trade for the rest of the day. If it wants to get bought up here, this thing might take off to the north side. But I really think our biggest mover today is going to be Tesla. Good old Uncle Tesla up 5.68%. Wow, what a crazy push that was. You love to see it, you know, you love to see just Tesla just constantly running up like this, but it looks like we're starting to see some sell-off volume come in now, so maybe this is the area that it wants to head lower. So I'm kind of like hands off now, guys, because I did my trading for the day, so we're going to keep an eye on this because this usually are the best spots to really get in. So I say that I'm hand off while I open up my active trader and I take a little peeky gander. You know, I do like these spots. I do like where it's at. I think that this isn't so much cherry picking at the top now in these areas. So we're gonna see, what does it want to do here? Does it want to go down from here? We're gonna go ahead and join the ask small, guys. Really small here. Just gonna try and get in 25 shares short if it wants to get me in. But we're gonna see if it actually wants to get me in. We're gonna see here right now, guys. We're gonna take one last trade of the day, and then we're going to see what wants to come of it. So AAPL, bro, did you make some money? That's a great question. We made some money. We lost some money. Let me go ahead and check the. Let me bring up my Trader Sync or Trader View, Trader Sync. It's Trader Sync, and let me add in these trades. We sold Tesla, so we are in short on Tesla, and I'm just gonna put it right at that high a day again, guys. Don't really care as long as we are losing small amounts and not losing big amounts. We're up $5 on that trade so far. So let's go ahead and take a little peeky gander at our trades for the day. Let me go ahead and get these set in. But I can almost guarantee you guys, we aren't up for today. It'll be the first time on stream that we won't be up for it. Well, maybe not the first time. I shouldn't say that. But it will be the first time in a while that we did not end up a green day on stream. So let's go ahead. No. I can't do it on stream. Why? Because of this. Why isn't it allowing it? Ugh. So I had the same trouble yesterday trying to import my trades. I had to talk to them, and now we're having trouble again trying to get these imported. So I'm not going to try and do this while I'm on stream because we only have 30 minutes left. But if you join that Discord, I post every day in the Discord my P&L because I'm very transparent with you guys. I want you to know that I am here for you. I am willing to take entertainment trades. I am willing to put it all on the line for you and show you that I am consistently profitable. And the days that I am not, then I am not. And I want to show you guys every single day the days that I am and the days that I'm not, the days that I'm having hards, because you're a loser unless you're learning. And I want to learn from my trades every single day, guys. If I'm not learning from my trades, I will feel like a loser. So make sure you join up on this Discord so you can see after hours where I am at on my all right, we're not messing with Tesla, guys. Tesla's way too strong. So here we go. Tesla's ramping up again, 196.23. Look at this, absolutely beautiful. You love to see it in Tesla. That is just, what an amazing day for Tesla. Absolutely amazing. And look at Meta still breaking down here, almost right back down to our buy-in area of 197.52. Wow, what a crazy day overall for everything today, guys. Apple still trading up here. We gotta zoom in on Apple, see where it's at. Look at this, Apple just still squeaking right up at these tops. It doesn't know what it wants to do. This could be an epic breakout trade or an epic breakdown trade. So depending on what happens here, we're gonna see really soon, guys. So this is gonna be very, very interesting. But we only have 30 minutes left, so make sure if you're here with me still, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here with me, guys. I'm much obliged, much appreciated. But I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12. But tomorrow, with the Fed rate hike decision, the FOMC meeting, you better believe it, baby. I'm going to be here 8 until 4. It's going to be an amazing thing. So I hope you are here with me. And even if you're not here with me, at least stop and say hello, let me know, and take a look at the charts because we want to see what is going to go down. I think tomorrow's going to be a great trading day for that overall market. Nvidia's flushing here, guys, as Tesla's pushing up. Wow, 194.51 on Uncle Tesla, heading up higher now. Wow. That is amazing, guys. That is absolutely amazing for Tesla. Let's take a look at Apple. Yeah, Apple's just, wow. You know, Apple being the big boat that it is, it's just chop, chop, chop city. I mean, it is doing its absolute best just to chop everybody up into little pieces here, but that's A-okay. You know, we called it this morning about it being a chop fest, and that's exactly what it is here, guys. It is definitely a chop fest, but that's A-okay. You know, you can't play these chop fests very well unless you have good risk reward. We had good risk reward in most of these trades, or all of these trades. We had good risk reward. The only issue is we lost more than we won today, right? And we usually lose more than we win, but in that sense, we usually have much bigger wins than we do losses. But because we took so many paper cuts today, I think we're going to be down 10 or 15 bucks. But I will let you guys know ASAP on the Discord right after this if I can get it fixed. But I will actually, no, I'm too busy after chat. I'm going to have to come back and do all that later on tonight. Okay, I got a lot. I got so much going on today, guys. It's crazy, but it's A-okay. Let's take a look at Tesla. It's 6% now, 6% up, just flying up. 194.19 for Tesla. Now I'm not gonna act like this is the top because it has really been smacking me around lately. So we got Apple here at 157.50. What else do you guys want to see here? Let's see where Riot's at, huh? So Riot looks like it's just trading at those tops. So let's bring up Bitcoin and see how pretty it's looking. Yeah, this thing's just range bound sideways, creating new lower highs down here on this trend line, heading upwards, looking absolutely amazing. Very fitting. You gotta love it, guys. You got to love it. So it looks like Riot, wow, just right at those tops. You know, I really wish I still had this trade, obviously. Now that we are starting to see more trades start to hold up at these tops, then we know it's going to be a heck of a lot better for these trades if they can, let's put it this way. If these trades continue to break out like we're seeing, so I wish I held Riot, right? I wish I held Riot because it was a breakout trade. We had $30 in it. We'd be up a heck of a lot more than what we're at right now. But why won't I take those breakouts and hold them for the longer expected move? Because I've been hurt so many times in playing these continuation trades. But I'm starting to see more of them coming to fruition. They're actually working now. So that simply means that next time, maybe I do leave in half of that share size. I could even be in 15 more shares on this and I would still be making money. All right, so let's go through the banks because this FRC is just trading sideways today. WAL looking about the same. PACW looking really weak with the overall. Well, actually, it's not looking bad, but it's right back up into that area of resistance. So that's nice. We could have taken that trade, but we missed that. UBS is the stronger out of all of them because they're buying up the losers. and it looks like KeyBank is pushing up, breaking these areas. We've seen it break this trend line. That's really nice for that. Let's look at Schwab. Schwab is up 5%, so that looks really nice for Schwab. Back up into this resistance area. We're going to see a $59 can hold. Have a special day. Love you all. Gotta go. See you, Granny Randy. Thanks for stopping in. We love you. We love you. Let's look at Credit Suisse here. Credit Suisse is just, I don't even like to look at Credit Suisse. Look at it, absolutely horrible. So, yeah, so let's look at Microsoft. So Microsoft is still holding off on those lows, but not going anywhere fast like it did 2 days ago. So we might want to just hold off on that one. We got AMZN still just trading sideways, guys. It's going right up into that $100 area. The last time it was there, it sold off pretty dang hard. So keep that in mind. If we're going to be back up there in those areas, that Amazon at 100, it's going to have a hard time in those areas, as Meta is up 0.48%. Why is it up? Well, because it had a big gap up this morning that we were selling shares, 5 shares short. We got out of it for a $1.35 loss. Well, that was a silly trade because this thing could have held off a lot better. So we got NVDA. Look at this breakdown in NVDA. Wow, what a breakdown for NVDA. And now it looks like it caught a bid down here at 256.72. We're gonna see if it wants to continue to hold. Yes, sir, Bob. We got Apple just kind of trading at this 157.43 area. It looked like it wigged down as far as 157.38. But just like we called it out this morning, just kind of sideways action. We had sideways here. It had a little breakdown, but a quick buy up here. So this is just trading sideways, just as we called it this morning, guys. And of course, we got Tesla, good old Uncle Tesla at 194.45. Looking good up here, guys. Looking really good. I can't really find anything on Tesla, any more reasons to short this thing except for it's in its resistance and it's pushed up so high. But I'm not going to sit here and constantly try to cherry pick a top if I don't actually see one. So this thing is just busting through, busting the chops of any short sale traders, and I don't want to be on the wrong side of this. So that being said, hands are off of Tesla. We're going to bring up Apple again, just sideways trading as Google's back up at its highs, up here at its highs, looking pretty good up here, but it needs to hold these areas, okay, guys? So let's take a look at Riot. Riot looks like it pushed up. It cleared its liquidity out on the top there, big push. Then it came right back down, trading right back at $8.09. So if we got a big jump in that, did we see another big jump in Bitcoin? It doesn't look like anything too crazy. So we're going to see. We'll see what happens with Riot. Now, did Etsy end up breaking down? No. Etsy actually did end up holding that off, and now it's got this nice little shoe right here, this little round horn right here. Now it's achieved. It's breaking above that 200-day moving average, and it's above its 10-day moving average. So that being said, if it's above those key areas, you're finding confluency in the market. Maybe if we can find a nice little pullback on Etsy, this might be a nice trade to the long side. So we're going to see how that wants to hold up. So the Nasdaq's just kind of trading sideways, 126.11. The Dixie still looks like, well, the Dixie found a bid down here at the bottom. It's trading at 103.23. So keep that in mind, guys. We got the VIX. So the VIX is down here at 22. You can believe that this thing probably is going to start chirping up here once it gets back up. During that FOMC meeting, that is going to go probably parabolic. Okay, if that FOMC meeting starts going on, people are going to be talking about it. Okay, so be careful with the FOMC meeting when it comes out, because I'll be here all stinking day for that FOMC meeting. Chewy, holy cow, Chewy. So Chewy found a nice bid here. Chewy's earnings is coming up really soon, so we got to keep that in mind, that Chewy's earnings is coming up. PDD, did PDD come out with its earnings? It did, and it failed all the way down here at this base, and now we're going to see if this thing wants to hold down here. So this thing actually, I've been watching this thing for an awfully long time now, and we've seen all this institutional ownership buying up on these bases, and then when finally we were supposed to get some more good news on PDD, it came out with good news on PDD, and it sold off really, really hard. B. Stewie says, teacher, my hand is up. B. Stewie, let me see. Is that the Head and Shoulders on that have earnings tomorrow? EH. This is one of those stocks I was talking about the other day, Passenger Jones. Okay, so let's look at EH. Let's do a little deep dive into EH, and I want to make sure I have NVDA up here. All right. So EH, let me just make sure ELF is not, yeah, ELF is still selling off pretty hard here. whatever. So wow. So this one's looking better because this one's above that 200-day moving average. And then here's what's cool, B. Stewie, is that we had this push up, this pull back that held this base right here. And then after it held its base, it pushed up even higher and pulled back, created another little base here, pushed up, pulled back, held this base again, and pushed up. Now that it's broke that base, we have this area that we know it needs to trade in between the $6.50 and this $11. We want to see it hold its 200-day moving average and then see what's going to happen on the 22nd. Excuse me, on the 22nd for its earnings. So be careful. You need to watch this, B. Stewie, because this is the kind of stuff that you really can learn from. With these earnings coming out, if EH wants to show us something awesome, and it shows that it has proof of concept as to where last month its actual was 14 cents. They must not have an estimate. Let's do a little deeper dive into EH, shall we? So we're going to bring up EH right here, and we're going to see what it is. You guys ready? Let me read it to you. All right. So Hangs Holdings Corporation, or Limited, operates as an autonomous aerial vehicle technology platform company. It engages in the design, developing, manufacturing, selling, and operations of AAVS and their supporting system of infrastructure for a range of industrial and applications, including passenger transportation, logistics, smart city management, and aerial media solutions. The company operates under the following geographical segments: PRC, East Asia, Europe, and other. The company was founded by Hakazu Hai and Yafeng Derek Xang in December 2014, and its headquarters in Guangzhou, China. So, excuse me if my Chinese isn't up to snuff, but now that we know that EH Hangs Holding is a headquarters out there in China, that's already my first red bell. My first red flag is anything from China. So these Babas, these PDDs, anything from China, with their regulatory staff there really hounding down on most of these people. We need to be really careful looking at these, okay? Because China doesn't like to follow all the rules in America. They don't have to follow all the rules because there's nobody over there putting them in jail if they don't, right? So keep that in mind, guys. When you're looking at this, B. Stewie, keep that in mind. But we do have this, what you could consider a new higher low, like an uptrend, this new higher low. So that is its first positive sign if it can hold this new higher low. Okay, so it's made lower lows, made a new higher low, and now if this can be its new higher low, and then on earnings, we see something, let's say we get that gap up on earnings that we talk about. If we get that 5-minute gap up on earnings and it gaps up like way up over here, like 16, and clears all this area, but just keep in mind that this area is about of liquidity at 16. So EH is looking a lot stronger than I think the last one you had me take a look at yesterday, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how it shapes up. It looks like ELF is pulling back, but we're going to see how that trades for tomorrow. But yeah, long story short, guys, it looks like, you know, overall for the day, if we run through this, you know, it's just been a chop fest. You know, we're seeing highs, we're seeing lows, but we're not seeing it do much of anything. We're not finding a direction. So just as we talked about it this morning. I mean, look at IWM. You know, the range is like within $1, you know. So when you look at things like this, you know, days like this are going to be boring in the market, but they're great days to learn. So that way you know, right? If you've never seen a range day like this in the market, then you wouldn't know to call a range day in the market, right? You wouldn't be able to protect yourself or set yourself up. Now, me knowing that it was a range day, I still got chopped up. I still allowed myself to get chopped up. So it's something that I can learn from it, but that's A-okay, guys. We're going to learn something new every single day on this channel, okay? Whether it's not learning it from me, learning it from you, learning it from a book, or if it's just information that I like to regurgitate, then that's what will happen. So Microsoft now trading at 269.80. I am glad that I got out of that small win of 50. Well, so we were in Microsoft before and we got a small loss on it, and then we came back, we fought back, and we got a small win on it. So that's A-okay. We want to see Amazon get back up to that $100 area. That might be a nice area for a short unless it wants to break through. Does Meta want to start to curl here? Because I tell you what, if Meta wants to start to curl here, I want to be on the north side of things on Meta, because Meta has been overall very strengthly. Now, if it wants to wait for this 10-day moving average to catch up, I'm A-okay with that too. B. Stewie, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for continuing your support here on LoFiTrader. Let's look at NVDA, guys. So NVDA, look at this beautiful, beautiful thing right here. Wow. Holy cow, watch out below. NVIDIA looks like it's selling off extremely hard, extremely fast. It looks like that short this morning was it, guys, and we did not take it, or if we did, we didn't take it for a long time. We just took it for a good time because we made $23.88 on NVIDIA. And look at that, that was to the long side. That's good risk management there, guys. Or maybe that was to the short side. I can't even remember now. I really gotta drop those shares, but I'm pretty sure we took this to the short side. Now, you know, obviously wishing that I would have continued to hold that, but it's a-okay. You know, that's part of trading, guys. So we're up 23 on that. Which one did we take? Apple, APL. I knew we had a decent sized win somewhere. So Apple, we lost $26. As toward NVIDIA, we're up $23. So we might actually have a green day for today. And I'm just thinking that we're red because we took so many small losses, right? So we might have a green day for the day because we know we got small wins on NVIDIA, Netflix, Microsoft, and our biggest loss was on Apple. So I think we're closer to break even today, which I'm totally fine with in a choppy market. And, you know, I still feel like I did overtrade a little bit today, but that is to be determined after chat. So guys, we got 15 more minutes here. Let me tell you a little something. If you guys want to, do me a huge favor, go ahead and look at this right here. We want to make sure that we are all caught up on the chat. Make sure that you are live, guys. Make sure you are live and you smash this like button. I'd love to see us get up to 20 today. 20 is going to be pretty hard to get up to in these slow days, but if you smash this like button, we'll have a better chance of getting up to that. And whoever, I don't know which one of you is it that unlikes it for me every time I'm in here, but I do appreciate you, even though you do that just to see me. I love you and I hate you. I love you and I hate you. But, you know, I appreciate you guys. Make sure it's lit up. When you hit that like button, make sure it stays lit up. Because we want to make sure it counts as a like, okay? Now, look at NVIDIA. Look at this huge sell-off. Holy guacamole, guys. Watch out below. We got timber. NVIDIA now selling off so stinking hard. I want to look and see what DKNG is doing. Yeah, it looks like it double topped here. Double top right there on DraftKings, and now is heading back down to that $18 area. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look at Meta. Meta also looks like it's trying to find a bid there at that base, but man, I love, let's see where, oh yeah, Tesla. Oh no, it looks like I missed the short sale on Tesla. No, that's okay, guys. You can't catch them all. It's okay. We took a $8.66 loss on Tesla today, trying to find this top right here that you see. But you know, it's over now. So if I were to take this, I would have to see another little pop back up here, maybe a bounce off view up, popping back up here to take a short. But you know, like I said, guys, we're probably gonna see some range bound action, and we did. We've seen it in a little bit of everything, but this Tesla, we did not see any range bound action. It said, hey, hold my juice box because I'm about to squeeze, baby. And that's exactly what Tesla did. We moved up over 6% on Tesla before we started getting a pullback today. And that is a beautiful move. You love to see it. And I know you love to see it, guys. You have to. You got to love to see it. Or you wouldn't be here seeing it right now, all right? You'd have your blinders on or you'd already clicked away. All right, so we got DraftKings trading up here. I mean, if it wants to hold these new higher lows, I mean, that's going to look really good for the overall, for DraftKings overall, right? So let's keep an eye on DraftKings. We're not going to sleep on that. Instead, let's go over here and look at Apple. So look at this. All these wicks, like Apple is just so hard to trade right now, guys. This is just not good trading material. It really is not. A lot of wicks, like hard jets to the bottom, hard jets up to the top. I mean, it just looks so stinking choppy and hard to trade. And if you zoom in on the book maps here, you're not really getting too much except for that 158 area is a huge, huge area of liquidity. And the only other area is this 156.99. So I'm expecting this to get back up to that 158 area because there's plenty of liquidity up there. But if it doesn't want to get up there and it keeps just chopping sideways, it is what it is. All right. Let's take a look at Google because, you know, I'm a fanboy for it. Let's go to it, baby. Google breaking those highs, breaking that double top, and now trying to head higher. Google looks absolutely amazing here because it broke this downward trend line and it's above its 200-day moving average. But the last time we were here, we seen it chop around that 200-day moving average. So I still feel like I have time to get Google on the long side because I expect this thing to pull back one more time. RIOT looks like it's still trading at those toppy tops. Looks like it wants to try and head higher. And same thing with Etsy, still rounding that corner. Snap looks like it's ripping up to the north side. Goodness gracious, what is going on with this overall market? It looks like this snap is breaking out here, guys. So that looks really good for that overall market. Let's go ahead and look at the Dixie. The Dixie looks like it's moving up a little bit, and the VIX, the VIX, looks like it's moving up a little bit too at 22.34. We know that in the 20s it's going to be a-okay. That's roughly its normal area, so keep that in mind, guys. All right. So what else do we got? What else do we got to look at? Let's go ahead. BBAI just popped up. Look at that. So it looks like this is an AI stock. Now, BBAI, look at this. Came right up into this red area. What is that red area? What could that be? Well, that red area, if you look, is going to be its first bout of liquidity because this is its mostly traded area, right? And that's why I marked these out for you guys. I want you guys to know, I want you guys to see. So this thing ramped right up into that area, and look at wicked right there and sold off hard. That's why we leave these out here for you guys so you can tell where that liquidity is. PTRA doesn't look very liquid enough. QNCX looks like it's trying to hold that area. If it wants to hold that 138 area, we know that that's an active traded area, and if it wants to hold that area, then that might look good for the future of this stock. All right, let me just take a peek gander at my phone, skis. All right, looking good. And we're gonna bring up Apple and see what's going on. All right, guys, I only got a few more minutes here, so let me know what you want to see in the chat so I can take a look at that. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire, sir. Yeah, see, this looks like a downtrend to me now, but you know, this bookmax has just got me all kinds of messed up because, you know, it's screaming this 158 up here. It really is. It wants to get up to that 158, and I would love to see it actually get up there. And if I'm looking at this, you know, it creating these new higher lows, see all these new higher lows, I feel like if it does break out of this area, then it's just going to wipe everybody out, and it makes me want to be on the long side. Like the second it starts pushing up here, like all of this, you know, maybe we just go in a little bit smaller here because I want to see it break out, and we're at these highs. So this isn't the best area to buy in, guys, but I'm in it. I'm not in it for a long time, just a good time, because we're only here for a few more minutes. So let's see if we can try and make some of this money back. If it wants to get some liquidity, it has the ability to push higher, 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 and break out, at least getting up to this 158. Okay, so that's my goal here, is this 158. If it doesn't want to make it up there within the next 6 minutes, or if it wants to break down quickly here, either way, I'm going to be out of this thing quick, because I'm not in here for a long time, just a good time. Davine, what's going on? NVIDIA going back up today. Yeah, you know what? I would like to see that happen. NVDA, let's take a look at it on the right-hand side. So a huge push, and look, right where I drew this line, guys, we're starting to see some action in this area. So maybe we take a little trade on this, you know, using this as its risk, because I do like this area, and NVIDIA is a super strong name, right? So if we want to take this as risk, 253.88 is its bottom, and it's trading at 256. So we can at least say, we'll say 254 to 256. So that's $2 of risk right there. You know, what are we willing to risk on that? Well, if it's $2, we'll say 10 bucks. Right? We're going to say 10 bucks. All this selling trading volume right down to this area. We could use this area as its risk using this $2, but personally I have overtraded today and I cannot take this trade. As much as I would like to be in NVIDIA for it to move back up to that top, I can't take it, and I should probably just be out completely, to be very, very honest with you guys. Simply put, you know, I did overtrade again today. I took too many, but I do like your NVIDIA. I like that call on NVIDIA, Davine, press. And you know, if this is your first time with us, Davine, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm here every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, and on top of that, I will be here all day tomorrow, 8 until 4, because as you know, there's a FOMC meeting and a There's an FOMC meeting and the rate hike decision. The rate hike decision is going to be happening very, very soon. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So make sure you're here. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe. Just got to punch in this address really quick for so-and-so. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, Devine, sorry, I got a little distracted there, but if you want to see me tomorrow, I would like to see NVIDIA take up and go higher too. I totally agree with you, especially in this area, just because it's using this area of support, but I do want to point out that there is not a ton of liquidity in this area, okay? That ton of liquidity is above. The only bout of liquidity that we can see is right here below, right where it bounced off of. So if it wants to hold this area for a bounce, that would be great, creating new higher lows to head higher. But do keep in mind, right now, all of this up here is overhead liquidity that people will be eyeballing and saying, hey, you know, they might not want to be a part of that. You know, they might pop up and they might sell off into it. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm just being the bear with bull horns here. That means that I would like to see NVIDIA come back. I would love to see it come back, and I expect it to come back. But these aren't buy or sell recommendations. I like to be the bear that swipes down. I like to be the bull with the horns that are chucked and ready to go higher. But I got to see both sides of the story. So we have overhead resistance, and we have this base for support. So right here is kind of playing in the middle, just like we talked about it being a sideways action kind of day. So we got sideways action for NVIDIA, even though it's making big moves. It's still trading in its channel. And there we go for Apple. Thanks a lot, Apple, you piece of crap. Maybe I just hold on to these 10 shares till tomorrow. I don't know. I don't like holding on to shares. We're just going to get rid of this. And we are done trading for the day, guys. So I got 2 minutes left. Let me just give you guys a little excerpt. I want to tell you guys, each and every one of you, you know, we have a lot of fun on this show. We really, really do. But I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for all of your continued support. Even though some days I have really, really good days and some days I have really, really bad days. And I'm not talking about trading. I'm talking about me personally. What I love to know is that I can show up every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 until 12, and I'll at least have my crew here. So thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you for being here for me. You have no idea how important that is to me. So we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.